Welcome to Seneca Indians Football, live on kneo.org. This broadcast is a sporting outreach of the KNEO Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Seneca Indians. This is your home for every sack, interception, and touchdown. Now let's join Seth Wilson, Ben Walcott, and Daryl Harbaugh live on location.
Good evening and welcome to Seneca Indian Football here on the KNEO Sports Network. I'm Seth Wilson as we are live in Mount Vernon, Missouri at Mountaineer Stadium where the Indians getting ready to take on the Mountaineers. Here in about 45 minutes, I'm joined by Ben Walcott and Coach Daryl Harbaugh will be on the sidelines just a few minutes joining us as well. Seneca comes into tonight's contest after defeating Cassville last week in their home in the opener, 33-27. Mount Vernon is 0-1 after losing to Aurora last week in a tight contest, 32-29. Once again, both teams being mentioned in the top teams of Missouri this week in Class 3 as the polls came out. We'll get into that a little bit later on. Ben, the last time these two teams faced off was in the quarterfinals last year. This game is always intense. You've been calling games here for Seneca for several years now. What have you taken away as an outsider to this rivalry between Seneca and Mount Vernon?
Well, it's like you said, it's always an intense rivalry. These teams don't like each other, but they also do a very good job of keeping it inside the lines. You know, they're kind of, towns don't like each other. You kind of grow up knowing that if you grow up in Seneca or Mount Vernon. It's probably one of the better rivalries in the Big Eight, especially when both teams are good. You enjoy watching these matchups, and, last year we were treated to it twice. This year we could be treated to it twice as well because Mount Vernon is in our district, so it would have to be a district game to play them a second time. But that also just proves how vital tonight's game is. Just like last week with Cassville, how vital it was to win that game. This one's just as important for the Indians.
Yeah, Seneca and Mount Vernon didn't have a whole lot of regular season contests starting about 2016 because the conferences merged with some teams from around the Branson area, and so it was every 2 years you had a different schedule come out, and Mount Vernon wasn't included as they were on the east side of the Big Eight at the time. But these two started playing each other back in 1976, so it's a rivalry that goes back quite a ways. Coach, you're down there on the sidelines. You're out there in the elements, a little bit wet out there tonight. What's it like coaching and playing in this rivalry against Mount Vernon?
Well, let's put it this way. I was kind of when it first started, because in 75, Seneca had a good team. We went to the state championship game, lost to John Burroughs. But in 75, that year, that fall, in 75, we got voted out of the Big Eight, or we did not get accepted in the Big Eight. We were an independent, and we did not get accepted in the Big Eight. Mount Vernon did not want us in the Big Eight until that year's team graduated. Next year, they voted us in. And it's been a little chip on our shoulder for a long time.
Well, these two go back a long ways, and certainly very intense, very spirited game, if you will. It's changed the scenery, too. It used to be just down the road, just a little bit south of here, where all the fans stood on one side. And I heard there was not so pleasant comments amongst fans back in the days, as my kids would say, back in the 1900s, as I like to say.
Yeah, way back.
Or as my son Crew would say, back in the 1999s. So there was some heated fandom as well back in those days between these two schools.
Well, yeah, go ahead. In other words, I mean, Seth, they had some good football teams. My senior year, they won state, and we played them very tough at Mount Vernon. We played them very tough, and they couldn't score, and their fans were yelling and screaming at us, and it was a fun environment to play in. Let's put it that way.
Well, Seneca won both these matchups last year. Like we mentioned, they won that quarterfinal matchup last year, 55-26. Mount Vernon put a score on the board as time expired. Seneca also won the Week 2 matchup last year, 35-14. So always a lot of fun. Seneca had those two matchups last year, but before that, Mount Vernon had their way sometimes with Seneca as well. And, of course, Seneca came back up here, and I think it was 2019, I believe it was, whenever Coach Napier's son, Dane Napier, had a game-sealing interception as Seneca won that one 13-12. So definitely a very intense rivalry between these two schools, and you never know who's going to come out on top. We're going to take a quick break. We come back, we'll have more pregame show for you. Your countdown to kickoff sponsors, People's Bank of Seneca and Prater's Pharmacy.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
I'm Bryce Johnson with this Unpacking It Sports and Faith Minute. Many sports have out-of-bounds lines indicating where a player is allowed to go. And although players are free to move anywhere they want within those lines, getting too close to the line increases the chances of stepping out of bounds. When following Jesus, we're given boundaries to protect us and keep us from going out of bounds. Unfortunately, we too often flirt with sin and get as close to the line of disobedience as we can. Instead of asking where the line is, we should be more concerned with where God is. We should want to be closer to Him rather than close to the line of sin. In the Bible it says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Today, let's be encouraged to remain centered on Jesus with a strong desire to please Him. Let's not tiptoe around sin, thinking we're not going to cross the line. I'm Bryce Johnson, and you can unpack that. For more, go to unpackingit.com.
Let's bring it back here in Mount Vernon, Missouri, as Seneca and the Mountaineers getting ready to tee off in just about 38 minutes. Recapping last week's game, Seneca had to go to work on defense first against the Wildcats from Cassville. Cassville was able to score in their first drive, and Seneca really only trailed about 2 times the entire season last year, including playoffs. And this was the first game, week 1. They trailed for about 2 minutes and 16 seconds. They answered right back with Miller taking it in for the first score of the season. Seneca only had 3 possessions in the first half, 2 of them ending in scores, 1 of them being a punt, and they led 14-7 at the half. Cassville held serve on defense to start the third quarter as they forced Seneca to punt and immediately came back and scored, tying it up 14-all. Seneca answered right back with Probert scoring, making it 21-14, and then Seneca rattled off 12 more points, with their last score coming 9 seconds into the fourth quarter. A couple scores in the fourth by Cassville made the final 33-27. Touchdowns on the night for the Indians were all on the ground. Miller with 1, Probert with 3, and Wilson with 1. And Graham had an interception as well. You're looking at that back at that game from last week. Seneca scored 9 seconds in that fourth quarter. Then they didn't score the rest of the game, so kind of a little bit of dry spell for them. Basically 1 quarter of no scoring for them. It was kind of an unusual situation. They didn't have that happen a whole lot last year for them unless it was late game running clock situation.
Well, you look at it, they fumbled at the 2-yard line going in with, I think, about 6 or 7 minutes left in the game, and that kind of swung things around at that point because it was 33, I think 14 at that point, Seth, and if they go down and score, you really put the game away compared to them fumbling, them going down and scoring. Next thing you know, things get a little bit tighter. And it may have been less time than that when it happened. But, things happen. They had a kickoff return for a touchdown. That's something else that Cody talks about in his coach's show. Special teams is going to have to be a bigger factor for Seneca here tonight. Their kickoff team is going to have to do a better job. Otherwise, Mount Vernon could have a big night there.
Well, Seneca had the 3-headed monster last year with 3 1,000-yard rushers with Klaus, with Probert, and with Miller. Last week, the Indians almost eclipsed 400 yards according to my stats. Probert and Miller having big nights. With the change in the starting line, 1 new starter playing in a different position, 4 new to Friday Night Football as far as a full-time starter. What stood out for you the most about Seneca's offense from last week?
I mean, I like Jeffrey Todd, the center there. He did a pretty good job. He moved Renfro from center to guard, and he did a very good job, did Todd, coming in and getting some snaps and being able to move some things. And I know we'll get to it later, but I think Seneca, last week did not do a very good job throwing the football. They were able to run for almost 400 yards, but everybody's going to put 8, 9, 10 guys in the box, and you have to be able to take advantage of those linebackers, those safeties getting sucked up, and last week Seneca was not able to take advantage of that.
We saw Probert come in and throw a few times last year. We saw a lot of halfback passes last year from Probert where he'd just take almost like a sweep to the right and then pull up and throw the ball downfield to Harris or whoever would be open. And so he's definitely used to throwing. I know he's probably a little bit upset with himself where he put those balls last week to Haynes late there in the first half. But, that week's behind him. He's got to put it behind him and move on. I'm sure he'll do that because we didn't have to have a whole lot of passing attention.
Right.
When you're putting 400 yards in the ground, there's not a reason really to pass a whole lot. Coach, defensively, the Indians were even on their giveaways, takeaways. Last year we saw them turn teams over a lot. What was one thing you saw from the defense that they need to improve upon against Mount Vernon this week? We may have lost Coach. Yep, he's talking to somebody down there on the side.
I'm sorry, Seth.
That's okay.
What do you need?
Defensively, what would you like to see the Indians improve upon this week against Mount Vernon?
Well, I'd like to see the defensive line do a little bit better job of maintaining your gap. Let's put it that way. You got to maintain your gap. You got to take care of your job, and the linebackers will be able to scrape over the top better to take care of their job. And so don't be surprised if we don't we've got to put some pressure on that quarterback as well. So I think the guys up front are going to have to be the ones who raise their game, so to say, a little bit against this Mount Vernon team.
Week one, there's going to be some growing pains. Like I mentioned, basically 5 new starting offensive linemen. They're all playing in a little bit different spot. Renfro's the main full-time starter that returns. He went from center to quick guard, so he's learning a new position. Jeffrey Todd at center, new to Friday night. He's learning the speed of the game. Week one, they're going to figure things out, and I bet you Coach Hilber and Coach Hughes, the offensive line coach, is going to get things figured out really quick because they know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. Hopefully those boys heed their advice going forward. We're going to take a quick break. We come back, we'll have more of your pregame show, your countdown to kickoff. Sponsors tonight, People's Bank of Seneca and Prater's Pharmacy. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District. Tradition, pride, class.
A business impact partner of KNEO is ProLube Tire and Auto Center in Neosho. Serving the area since 2001, they're open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. ProLube Tire and Auto Center offers tire and brake repair, as well as transmission service, front-end alignments, and more. Located at 1406 North Business 49 in Neosho. For more information, 417-221-6795 or online at proluberepair.com.
Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca is the place to go before or after the game. Check out their amazing menu of fan-favorite blizzards like Oreo or cookie dough. Happy hour is daily from 2 to 5 p.m. That means everything you can drink from a straw is half price, excluding premium shakes. Don't forget to grab one of their $7 meal deals or their signature stack burgers and top it off with a Misty Slush. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca, located at 308 Washington, open daily from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Proud to support the Seneca Indians.
Mid-America Specialty Markets of Seneca is a supporter of the Seneca Indians, and they're proud to bring you today's game. They provide insurance services for the 4-state area, including home, auto, life, and agribusiness. Located at 910 Washington Avenue in Seneca, they are licensed in Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Kansas. Learn more today at midminsurance.com or call 417-451-9177. Mid-America Specialty Markets. Protecting your business and family is our specialty.
And we welcome you back to Mount Vernon, Missouri, as we're just about 31 minutes away from kickoff between the Indians and the Mountaineers. We had our Southwest shout-out last week. That brought you the district pairings, district matchups for football. This week, the first polls were released, like we mentioned a while ago, both these teams getting mentioned in the Class 3 rankings, Seneca being number 1. Cassville comes in at number 9 after falling to Seneca last week. They got some votes as they took Seneca. The score looked like it was a toe-to-toe contest. And then Mount Vernon, I believe right now, has some votes. They're number 11 on the season after losing to Aurora last week. Lamar sits at number 3 in Class 2. Fair Grove at number 4. Nevada at 7 in Class 4. Mack County at 10 in Class 4. Webb City is at 4 in Class 5. Carthage is at 5 in Class 5. And Republic is in 6 in Class 5. So you got 3 of those teams right there in the same conference running 4, 5, and 6 in Class 5. And then Joplin and Nixa is in Class 6, and they're number 1 as Webb City will be facing Nixa tonight on 91.7 live on air tonight. That'll be a big contest between those two schools. Of course, Nixa has all kinds of talent, won that one last year. Be interesting to see what happens. I believe, is that game at Webb City this week? It's at Nixa. Okay, on the road this week. Any thoughts from you guys on the rankings that came out? I know coaches are talking on the sidelines. He's not paying attention. So, Ben, do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I'm here, Seth. What are you talking about?
Got any thoughts about the rankings that came out this last week, where Seneca sits? Any other teams that kind of surprise you as far as rankings go for class rankings, state rankings? So
far? As an old coach, I don't really pay attention to state rankings or nothing. They're going to have Seneca up there just because we've been there. And until somebody knocks us off, we're going to stay there. Now, if they knock us off, then we'll drop down and everything will adjust to what we need to do. As a coach, one game at a time.
Well, Lamar's, we talked about how Lamar losing last week kind of knocked them off that top spot because they were state champions last year, beating Fair Grove. Losing to Mack County last week, Mack County beating them gives them some extra votes. You went out and beat the state champion Class 2. It's going to give you some votes there. Us going to the state championship game last year, Blair Oaks falling down to Class 2 this year. That kind of opens the door for us to be that number 1 seed, but really seedings don't really matter. You got to get stuff done on a Friday night. You can be ranked number 1 the entire season, and it comes down to every single week by week, one game at a time type of situation. I'm sure that's what the Indians coaches are talking about for sure.
Yeah, those media polls are for us and for the fans to gripe about, not for the coaches or the players to wonder about. I guarantee they don't care where they are. All they care about is the fact that they want to be in that state championship at St. Joe
December 4th.
December 4th on a Friday morning, and see if they can change heartbreak from the past 2 years. That's all they care about, those media polls. Lamar's kind of living off of some of last year, the year before success, because they haven't dropped down more than they did, because I think, like you said, they're ranked 4th, or 3rd right now, so they only dropped 2 spots. And like Darryl said, Seneca, because Blair Oaks dropped down, well, who's the other team that made it? And everybody knows Seneca has a lot back, and they have their bullseye on their back as well, so I think that's part of it too, is Seneca knows that they probably have a lot of guys back and should be somewhere near the top.
Well, Fair Grove losing to Lamar in the state championship game. Fair Grove beat a very good Mountain Grove team last week. They're still sitting at number 4 in Class 2. I know they lost a lot as well, but expect big expectations from them coming off that state championship run that they had a year ago where they finished runner-up to Lamar. So, everybody kind of rides the coattails of last year's success. You don't know who's graduated. You don't know what players have been injured. You look at Nevada last year. They had a player that tore his ACL during summer basketball, and Jack Cheney was supposed to be a really good running back for them, and he was unable to play his senior year because he had a knee injury. And so that took Nevada's wind out from their sails just a little bit last year. They were still a great football team, but you never know what's going to happen from week to week, who's playing, who's not playing. If a team's at full strength, it's just all speculation. You got to play Friday night games.
Well, the other thing is until you get to probably week 5 or 6, you're not going to know a whole lot about these teams. So like you said, you're basically going off of last year's stats until you get some meaty statistics in there and get enough games to go, all right, I think I finally know what this team is going to be. And it's going to take 5 or 6 weeks before you get to that point.
All right, we're going to take a quick 1-minute break. We come back, we'll have the blast from the past for you here in our pregame show in Mount Vernon, Missouri on the KNEO Sports Network.
A proud backer of the Seneca Indians is Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca. Located at 1101 Cherokee, they are honored to serve the area with traditional service options, including church and graveside services. They also have prearranged funeral plans. For more information, the phone number for Funeral Director Mike Steele at Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca is 417-776-2251 or online campbell-biddlecomefh.com.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
And we welcome you back here to Mount Vernon, Missouri. It's time for the Blast from the Past. Last week we looked at the team from 1973. This week we will rewind a few years earlier to the team of 1968. They started off that season winning against Aurora 26-20. John King got the scoring started, pushing it in from 1 yard out. Then he found John Howard for a 90-yard scoring strike, and Bill Hopper kept it on a run and put the game away late for the Indians against the Hound Dogs. They rambled off 7 straight victories to start the season. Their regular season went as follows. Aurora win 26-20, winning at Quapaw 18-6, winning at Republic, shutting them out 34-0, winning at Sarcoxy 33-12, then against East Newton, shutting them out 13-0. Jasper shutting them out 13-0. Defeating Mack County 26-13. Tying with Fairland, and then losing to Pitcher the last game of the regular season by a score of 6-7. It was the first year of playoffs for football in Missouri. That year, with only the top 4 teams from each class qualifying for the state championship bracket. Seneca won their first game in overtime with some unusual rules against Tarkio 8-7. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if I read the clipping right, I haven't really spoke to anybody about it, but I think it's if you can get the ball to the 50-yard line type of scenario on 4 plays, the team that gets the furthest wins. And I think Seneca was able to get a big loss against Tarkio. I think they lost 17 yards on their second play or 11 yards on their second play and allowed Seneca to win that one in overtime by the amount of yards gained. And it's kind of a weird situation for an overtime rule. Either way, they went on to the very first ever state championship game in Missouri, falling to Kabul 6-0. We celebrate the team of 1968, another great team of Seneca's history of tradition, pride, and class. We'll be back with the Coaches Show right after this.
I'm Bryce Johnson with this Unpacking It Sports and Faith Minute. Sports fans can be loyal to a fault. For instance, sometimes our teams make awful personnel decisions, and deep down we know that, yet we convince ourselves that the team is doing the right things. When it comes to our faith, we also try to convince ourselves that we're doing the right things, even though deep down, we know that's not true. We can pretend we're obeying God, while in actuality, we're not producing fruit in our lives. The Bible says God is light, and there is no darkness in him at all. So we are lying if we say we have fellowship with God, but go on living in spiritual darkness. We are not practicing the truth. We need Jesus' grace to empower us to live our lives in the light. We must repent and leave the darkness behind so we can have fruitful fellowship with him and make wise decisions. Today, let's not waste time trying to convince ourselves of a false reality. Instead, let's stick to the truth and live in the light with Jesus. I'm Bryce Johnson, and you can unpack that. For more, go to unpackingit.com.
It's time for the Cody Hoburn Coaches Show. The Coaches Show is sponsored by Prater's Pharmacy and New Mack Electric. Now here's Seth Wilson and head coach Cody Hoburn.
Back here with Coach Hoburn, and looking after last week's Cassville. It was a tough week 1 opponent. You managed to keep the lead and just got the first win of the season. What does a game like that do to build your team's character going forward?
Yeah, that's a tough place to go on the road and play week 1. That's a really good football team, so a lot of credit to Cassville there, but you know, it may sound like I'm lying here, but we really try not to look at the scoreboard early in the season and really at all during the regular season. We just try to play to a certain standard. And even last year, you know, we kind of had our way with Cassville, but we approach it the same, whether we're won by 7, lost by 7 when we come back. And we didn't feel like we played to our standard, the standard we want to play to. And so we come back, and as far as judging our team's character, I think that's when you figure some stuff out. When you got to come back in Monday morning and kind of look in the mirror a little bit and make some corrections. How would our kids respond? And they were excited to get here Monday. And they knew we had some stuff to fix, and they showed up ready to get it fixed. So that's what I can say about our kids' character. They understand their mistakes, and then they were ready to get back to work.
You talked after the game that there was going to be a lot of film watching this last week. talked about them wanting to come in Monday ready to work. Were there a lot of small things you noticed that needed cleaned up? And how's the team respond? You said they've responded pretty well so far.
Yeah, that's always the case between week 1 and week 2. And, you look at, special teams and all these things. A lot of times the first time you've seen what we call live bullets, and you don't know until you're in those adverse situations how your kids are going to respond. So, yeah, we took some extended time Monday and then really focused on us, and hopefully we'll get some of that stuff cleaned up this week.
Defensively, I may be incorrect on this. I think we talked about it a while ago, but roughly 200 yards on the ground, 64 of those coming on one rushing attempt. Defensively, the last 2 seasons, the ability to stop the run for Seneca has been the highlight. What has to be the key having success in that aspect of the game?
Yeah, that's important to us, and I've said that quite a bit about our identity. We want to be a team that can run the football and stop the run, and we didn't do that, didn't do a good enough job of doing that Friday night. And what that does is allows them to be able to do everything they want. They were able to throw the ball and run the ball, and we've got to make teams one-dimensional. And when we're not able to stop the run, it kind of gives that playbook wide open for the opposing coach. So, yeah, we got to buckle down. We got to buckle down. We got to refuse to be blocked up front. We got to get off blocks, and we got to make plays.
We saw some big kickoff returns this last week. What are some aspects of the kickoff team's performance that you see that need to be fixed heading into week 2?
Yeah, that's a tough one, and we were worried about that because you just don't take live reps of kickoff team in practice, and so we're going to continue to try to give guys opportunities to be on our special teams. So we rolled out that first 11 guys and saw some good things and saw some bad things out there. And we got to figure out who we are. We got to figure out the right personnel on our kickoff team. And then as coaches, if we can't do the same thing all the time, this is a different football team. And if we got to change, our kick coverage and do things differently, we'll do that as well.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
Mount Vernon, we go up there this week. They lost a 3-year starter at quarterback, lost a good running back last year and linebacker in Dotson. We know Coach Cox has his offense all ready to go every single season. Have they veered much from their game plan with the change in the skill position of kids, or they kind of were their same spots on offense?
No, they're a similar football team. I think good programs, and Mount Vernon is a good program. They all have an identity, and they have their identity of who they want to be on both sides of the ball. And Coach Cox is going to do very similar things, but does have a different style of quarterback now, a 6'5", 220-pound kid that they're going to use in the run game some, and he's going to continue to tweak to fit his personnel, and we've got to do the same. So they're Mount Vernon, they're going to do things that give us fits, and we got to go up there again, another really tough place to play. So we got to show up ready to go.
They also lost some big linemen up front, too. Gave Johnson and Dotson protection up front and gaps to run through. What do you think will be the biggest challenge up front for your line on the defensive line?
Yeah, we got to, again, it goes back to just being us. And we weren't us. I didn't feel like up front. And I think that's, and when I say up front, I'm talking about our defensive line and linebackers. And I think that's got to be a strength for us. And we got some good players in that group, and they expect more out of themselves. And Mount Vernon is another team that's similar to what I was talking about with Cassville. If we don't stop Mount Vernon's run first, we're in trouble, because now they can throw the ball at will. And if they're able to be balanced offensively, they put you in a bind.
Defensively, Mount Vernon gave up 32 points to Aurora. They ran a 4-man front against Aurora spread offense, then switched to a 3-man front, 3-man look. They've been known to blitz linebackers quite often in years past. Are you looking for the same thing from Mount Vernon's defense this week?
Yeah, again, they've had the same defensive coordinator for a while now. They've played, looking back on our film, 4 or 5 defensive fronts against us, which makes it for a really tough week because you got to be prepared for all of that stuff. And then they'll blitz you out of it and they'll shift you and do all kinds of things. And they've got a brand new offensive line, so it's a challenge this week. And the biggest thing for those guys is to communicate and get on the same page. And we have a saying for those guys up front: if we're all wrong, we're all right. And basically what we're trying to preach there, man, as long as they have a plan up front, even if it's not the perfect blocking scheme, but they're on the same page, it gives us a chance.
You've been listening to the Cody Hoburn Coaches Show. The Coaches Show is sponsored by Prater's Pharmacy and New Mac Electric. We'll be back with more Indians football after this on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
People's Bank of Seneca is proud to support this portion of the game. They offer banking services including checking and savings accounts, CDs, and loans for individuals and businesses. They have locations in the Seneca and Joplin areas and are online at peoplesbankofseneca.com. People's Bank of Seneca, proud supporters of the Seneca Indians. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Proudly supporting the Seneca Indians is Doug's Body Works. Owned and operated by Doug Scribner, they offer a 24-hour wrecker service and specialize in auto body and frame repair. Doug's Body Works is located at 1008 Oneida in Seneca and is proud to serve the local area. 417-776-8611. Go Indians! Huddle Springs Church of Christ is bringing you today's ball game. They're a family-friendly church located just a few miles outside Seneca at 19306 Huddle Springs Road. With Sunday morning and evening worship services as well as midweek services on Wednesdays, check out HuddleSpringsChurchofChrist.org for more information about all the classes and fellowships they offer throughout the week. Huddle Springs Church of Christ, where they say, "We want to go to heaven with you."
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is better health, better you.
I'm Bryce Johnson with this Unpacking It Sports and Faith
football here on the KNEO Sports Network. We're at Mount Vernon, Missouri at Mountaineer Stadium, and we are just about 11 minutes, just under 12 minutes to go till kickoff between these two schools. It is a wet, drizzling night here in Mount Vernon, southwest Missouri, getting a little bit of rain. Finally getting a little bit of rain. Had the whole month of basically July and August where we didn't have any, and now we're starting to get a little bit to trickle in. Feels like a fall weather night here in week 2 at Mount Vernon. Kind of unusual. We don't get this type of weather. I think we got it last year. We were talking on the way up here. Maybe at Aurora and the playoffs we got this type of weather, and we're already getting it in week 2. High's only about 63 degrees, so it's a great night for football, high school football. Like I said, Seneca on the road tonight at Mount Vernon. The matchup goes back to 1976 with Seneca joining the Big 8 Conference. Seneca holds the advantage right now 35-19. They battled twice last year, Seneca winning both of those 35-14 in week 2 and then 55-26 in the quarterfinal matchup of this Class 3 playoffs. Same coaches, Coach Tom Cox from Mount Vernon. They lost some starters last year to Mount Vernon. Their 3-year starting quarterback in Gavin Johnson and their 2-year starting running back in Braden Dodson. He also started linebacker of 2 years for the Mountaineers as well. Both those are gone to graduation. New quarterback coming in this year, number 10, Hunter Dawson. Bigger body than what Johnson was, 6'5", 220-pound junior quarterback senior quarterback for Mount Vernon. Their running back this year sits back there, number 34, Hunter Conway. He's a 200-pound senior running back. Got a little bit of action last year whenever Dotson was injured, I think in week 9. Mount Vernon runs a lot of different formations. They run tank formations. They run trips. They run trips bunch. They run a spread type of offense where they've got receivers basically everywhere, and they will try to mix you up with just sending guys in motion, kind of similar to what Seneca does. But they might not look into the running game. Might look to the running game a little bit more based off what we saw last week against Aurora. Their quarterback's a little bit bigger body than what they had last year, and so they might look to run the ball a little bit more. Ben, last year, Mount Vernon had a lot of high-powered offensive plays, only beating Aurora only 7-6 last year, though, ironically. This year, much more explosive, putting up 26 in week 1. What do you take away from what you see them on offense this year compared to last year?
Well, Cody said it in his coach's show, is they're a little more balanced. They're trying to run and pass the ball, and if you can't make them one-dimensional, that's exactly what they want to do, and the play-action pass is going to burn you all day long. Cassville was able to burn Seneca in a couple big plays last week. I don't even really think they were play-action pass. I think they were just kind of wheel routes and sneaking a back out of the backfield and get lost in the wash there. But if Seneca can't defend the run and make them one-dimensional, it's going to be a long night for Seneca's defense.
Well, that's basically every single team's strategy when it comes to football anywhere. If you can make a team one-dimensional, that gives you an advantage. You kind of know what their cards are going to be playing out there because you've studied the film and you've seen what they do in the passing game. So if you can take away the run, that proves big dividends for your defense. Kind of lets them sit back a little bit more on defense and maybe attack a little bit more too. Send some blitzing linebackers here and there. Defensively, they like to switch up fronts, like Coach Hilburn mentioned a while ago. 3-man front, 4-man front. They'll blitz. They'll run some stunts. They'll do all kinds of different things out of their different defensive formations. Aurora putting up 32 on them last week. We know they're not happy with the results the defense put on the field last week, Coach. What does Seneca need to do tonight to be ready for the different fronts and for the defense that Mount Vernon will throw at them here in week 2?
Well, Mount Vernon, they're playing it here. They're wanting to show that they can play, especially against Seneca. And don't be surprised if they don't come out 3 front, 4 front. Multiple fronts. There'll be blitz and all kinds of linebackers. I think they're going to do everything they can to take Roman Miller and Brody Probert out of the rushing game, and maybe having a couple of guys spying on them and going man-to-man over the top with. They're going to be playing. I got a feeling they're going to be playing man-to-man on Blaze and man-to-man on Drew Sherwood as well. I mean, and also Hunter Haynes coming, in the slot back, but. They're going to do everything they can to stop the run.
Well, if you remember last year, too, Blaze Graham had that big, long catch. Didn't quite make it to the end zone with that big, long catch he had in that quarterfinal game. Just got behind the defense just enough, and he was wide open, and Klaus put it right on the money. Caden Klaus put it right on the money for him. So look for Probert to maybe have a little bit bigger of a game tonight. The passing game maybe a little bit more active tonight. We'll see, because Mount Vernon will probably be keen on the run game a little bit more with the numbers that Seneca put up last week.
Also, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but the weather's going to be, at least at the beginning of the game, looking at the radar, maybe second half it looks like it might lighten up. But I've said that before, and then it's rained the entire game. But ball protection is going to be a key to tonight's game. For both these teams. If you can turn the other team over and get an extra possession or two, that could be the difference in the game.
All right, we're going to take a quick 60-second break. We come back, we'll have more pregame show for you right after this.
I'm Bryce Johnson with this Unpacking It Sports and Faith Minute. Elimination games during the playoffs are always so intense and fun. Nothing brings out the best in a team like the desperation they play with when everything is on the line. What about in our own lives? Do we live with a desperation mentality when serving God? Oftentimes, something drastic has to happen before we're willing to surrender ourselves in total desperation for God. But we don't have to wait until we're actually desperate to live like we're desperate. Jesus has already shown us his amazing love, so our response each day should be one of surrender. Paul writes in Romans, I plead with you to give your bodies to God because of all he has done for you. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship him. Today, let's allow our desperation to please God. Lead us to sacrifice everything we have, knowing that victory is the result. I'm Bryce Johnson, and you can unpack that. For more, go to unpackingit.com.
And we welcome you back to Mountaineer Stadium as the Indians have taken the field as well as the Mountaineers. They've done their starting lineups. And we're going to start with the keys to victory. Coach, we're going to start with you. Keys to victory tonight.
My keys to victory is our secondary. I think we might be able to stop the run. We got decent line, but we better be able to guard somebody in the backfield. As an ex-quarterback, played a little bit. I love to throw in the rain because the receiver knew where they were going. The defensive back did not, and it was tougher on him to cut and make the adjustments when they were in the rain. So as far as in the rain was, I love to throw the ball. Our secondary better have their head on swivel tonight.
All right, so Coach has got the secondary tonight, and for Ben, what do you have?
Well, I kind of mentioned it just a minute ago, but I think ball security is going to be key in the game tonight. Last week it was turnovers, one each apiece. You basically zero that out. If you can get a couple extra possessions, that could be the difference in the game here this evening.
All right, Coach, key players. You mentioned secondary a while ago. Who do you have for an individual player, key player for tonight's game?
Well, you better have the cornerback better have a good game. Drew Sherwood shut that kid down from Cassville last week. He better have a good game tonight. So does Laughlin.
Laughlin, Wilson, Graham, all those guys.
Yes, all those guys. And also, and once again, Hunter Haynes. He's got to understand when the run is and when the pass is, and he's got to be the one to help out.
All right, Ben, what do you have for key players?
I think you can talk about Brody Probert in the passing game. I think the passing game has to have success, and with that, Blaze Graham, he is known for the spectacular catch. I think he comes away with something special here tonight.
All right, we're taking a quick break. We come back, we'll have the coin toss for you right after this.
Being a Lion comes with a reputation for excellence. Whether it's in the classroom, on the court, or in the community, Lions are leading the way. With innovative and immersive academic programs, new scholarship opportunities, and a campus committed to the future, now is the perfect time to find your purpose. Find your pride at Missouri Southern State University.
Marine Center Incorporated is a sponsor of Seneca Athletics. In business since 1979, they offer Mercury and Suzuki motors, along with low boats as well as boat repairs. Located at 4961 Highway 43 in Joplin, Missouri, open Monday through Friday 9 to 5, Saturday 9 to 12, and closed on Sunday. For more information, the phone number is 417-781-7450 or online at marinecenterjoplin.com. The Marine Center Incorporated, where the slogan is, your family boating headquarters.
And we welcome you back as the captains have made their way out on the field for the Mountaineers. Number 62, Jacoby Wilson. Number 58, Isaac Henry. Number 41, Austin Rawlings. And number 81, Coy Felton. For the Seneca Indians, looks like we have... I don't have a single number out there. It looks like Hunter Haynes may be out there. Brody Probert may be out there. Probably, I would guess Jace Renfro's out there. And
65.
Also Brock Pendergraph. I couldn't quite tell who it was. So we got those guys out there as the coaches shake hands and head back to the respective sidelines. Seneca wearing their all-white uniforms, travel uniforms tonight. And Mount Vernon in all their green home gear. It is Mount Vernon's home opener tonight as we bring this game to you on the web stream here on KNEO. Make sure you tune in anytime you have the opportunity to listen to Seneca Indian Athletics, as Ben had some softball games this last week as well.
Just one, but yeah, Seneca played well against Carthage, lost 7-6 the final score of that one, but that was a very close game, as I'm not sure who deferred, but somebody deferred.
Mount Vernon deferred to the second half, so Seneca more than likely will be on offense. Like I said, rain is coming down here tonight, light, drizzly rain. Seneca Faithful has traveled well. If you look over to that Seneca side, you see a lot of red over there. Traveled really well. Got their umbrellas up, all those red and blue. See some People's Bank umbrellas over there with that red and blue over there. Those are recognizable for sure. Maybe some Chiefs umbrellas over there too. So.
Chiefs play tonight, so
they got their opener tonight as well. Down in Brazil.
You look at the weather here in Mount Vernon. We're in the middle of a nice little batch of rain, but I think once that batch comes through, it should be mostly cloudy the rest of the night. Obviously, weather forecasts can change, but once this batch comes through, I think it'll just be cloudy after that.
Seneca Indian football countdown to kickoff sponsors tonight. People's Bank of Seneca and Prater's Pharmacy. Neither team has made their way. Now the Indians do make their way out on the field. Looks like going back deep to receive for the Indians will be Roman Miller. And Hunter Haynes at second line. Looks like Dawson Manley out there, as well as Blaze Graham, Silas Ball, and maybe Jagger Wilson. Front row, you got Ryder Owens and Cade Finley, as well as
Laughlin.
Looks like number 13 on the other side is Clay Davidson, and Laughlin's in the front in the middle, and number 38 is Stone Euler on the front line for the Indians. So kickoff return wasn't bad last week.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can get the Indians a good possession. That ball security is going to be key right off the bat here. See how you can battle that raindrops falling in your face as you try to receive this kickoff coming off the foot of the kicker from Mount Vernon. And looks like number 57, Landon Pope, or Papa.
If I was that kicker, I might dribble it because,
let it get wet.
Yeah, it'd be a grease pig at the state fair trying to catch that. So don't be surprised if you try and squib it.
All right, we've got the go-ahead here from the head referee, and Papa takes his steps back. And here we go. It's a short, high end-over-end kick that Roman Miller's going to let bounce. He's going to pick it up, and it goes out of bounds. Since he touched it, it'll be Seneca's ball at the 15-yard line since he touched it inbounds. That's a situation where you get out of bounds and let it touch you out of bounds, and it's a penalty.
Right, that's exactly what I was thinking, is you let it go out of bounds, and then you get the ball at the 35, if not 40-yard line.
So first down and 10, Seneca, their first possession of the game, opening possession of the game here will start. They got to go 85 yards to get their first score. See what Coach Hilburn has drawn up to start this game. He's probably got a few plays scripted out. Mount Vernon has a 3-man front, 4-man front now, does Mount Vernon. Seneca going with two split outs to the far side, one on the near side. Now they're going to go trips coming out of the huddle late, and there's going to be a penalty for too many men in the huddle. Silas Ball comes off the field late.
And this is kind of a continuation of last week, Seth. Last week Seneca was having issues with the penalties. It's those dead ball penalties, those kind of mental mistakes that kill you. Hustle ones aren't that bad, but it's the mental ones that are a problem.
You got to erase those mental mistakes early on if you're going to have success. First down and 15 for the Indians. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 on the near side. Probert in shotgun formation, 4-man front, blitzing linebacker. Looks like he's coming in. It's going to be Probert taking to the right side, lowers his shoulder at the line of scrimmage, spinning forward. He's going to get 6 yards on the play up to the 16-yard line, and to make it second down and 9.
But, that's a nice run there. Gain of 6 on the play, but that's one of those things that you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot there a little bit, because a 6-yard gain, it should be second down and 4 instead of second down and 9.
2 receivers to the far side this time for the Indians. Silas Ball in at the H-back position. Miller to the left. Probert looking over to Hilburn, talking to him. 4-man front for Mount Vernon, 4-2 look with 5 defensive backs. And it's going to be a quarterback sweep to the right side. He's going to get behind Miller's block, cut it upfield at the 20-yard line, lowers his shoulder to 24, takes the defender with him. He's got enough for the first down across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Good run there by Probert on the quarterback sweep.
Well, you look at it there, you have 2 lead blockers. You have an excellent kick-out block by Drew Sherwood, and Probert is not going to go down on first contact against a safety.
He just had one guy to beat, and he almost was able to break through that one. Sherwood and Graham split to the near side this time, as Ball is on the right side at the H-back position. Miller to the left of Probert. It's going to be a handoff to Miller. His first action of the game. He's going to get bottled up quickly. Ball's on the ground, and Mount Vernon recovers it. Mount Vernon recovers it. That's going to be a huge turnover. We talked about ball security early on, and that's already going to be the case as Mount Vernon set up shot first down and 10 at the 25-yard line of Seneca. Miller had all kinds of action in his face as soon as he took that handoff, and he got hit hard, and ball punched right free.
Go ahead, Daryl.
Well, the guy from Mount Vernon stripped to get punched out. The guy one of the guys making the tackle wadded up, just stripped the ball away from him.
So first down and 10 now for Mount Vernon as Hunter. Go ahead.
No, you're just going into a wall like that. You just got to have both arms on him.
It looked like maybe Pendergraft was trying to kick a guy out so Miller could go off his block, and I think that he's the one that ended up blowing up the play.
There was 2 or 3 of them that blew up the play right away.
Twins for Mount Vernon to start the contest on their first offensive series. Going to send a man in motion. Dawson high snap. He's going to look to throw. He's got pressure in his face, and it's going to be taken down immediately. First man there for the Indians is number 29, Aiden Crane. The junior defensive end comes in and gets a sack to get things going here on their first possession on defense.
It's kind of interesting there on the replay, Seth. They didn't even block him. I don't know if that was the halfback's responsibility after the fake, but there on the replay you see nobody blocked him, and he said, all right, I may as well just take the quarterback.
10:27 to go here in the first quarter. After the Seneca turnover, Mount Vernon has good field possession, second down and 16.
And Seth, I think Mount Vernon wanted to take a shot there because, after a turnover, what do you always try and do? Get a big play.
Twins for Dawson. Handoff's going to go the first man through. That's going to be 34. That's going to be Conway. Conway's going to get wrapped up there after a gain of couple. Landon Hartgee on the tackle for the Indians. Ball placed at the 29-yard line. A pickup of 2 on the play. Third down and 14.
Nice job there defensively, like you said. And third down and long here for Mount Vernon. If you're Seneca, you want a negative play or a zero play because it's 4-down territory for Mount Vernon here at the plus 30.
They only gave him 1 yard back to the 30. I thought he got 2 maybe on that one, just back to the 30-yard line. Again, Twins for Mount Vernon. Maybe look for a little trickeration here as Conway to the left of Dawson, going to send a man in motion. Now they got trips on the far side. Dawson's going to roll out to the left side. Aiden Crane's giving pressure. Dawson's got more time. Renfro giving chase. Melvin Miller giving chase. Dawson still on his feet, and he's going to be brought down for a first down. That's what you can't have if you're the Indians. You get too much pressure, allow Dawson to scramble free, and there was no quarterback spying Dawson to take him down. He's got enough for the first down to the 12-yard line, a pickup of 18 on the play.
Well, you see there Renfro misses the tackle, and then Roman Miller over-pursued there as well, and that's what allowed the big gain to happen.
9:11 to go here in the first quarter. Tank formation now as Dawson goes under center. He's going to give it to Conway. Conway's going to dance around. He's going to get bottled up and taken down immediately. First man there for the Indians looks like Brock Pendergraph taking him down for no gain on the play.
Seneca won the line of scrimmage that play. They've been winning the line of scrimmage. Just one big play, just got the quarterback loose.
Yeah, and on that one that he got loose, like we said, it was over pursuit there by Roman Miller. He went a little bit too far, and the quarterback able to cut back inside and get that big gain.
Well,
and Aiden Crane also missed a tackle there, too.
Once you get pushed up, you can't run upfield too far.
Tank formation once again as Dawson's under center. He's going to have the toss sweep to the near side. He's going to have to cut back in as Conway. Conway's going to get wrapped up. Maybe 1 yard gain to the 11-yard line. Good job by Seneca's backside pursuit to shut that play down on the cutback by Conway.
And Blaze Graham is the one that forced that back inside for the Indians. Force it back to where the rest of your cavalry is. Once again, though, Seth, just like last week, Cassville had a couple big third down conversions. Mount Vernon already has one. Here's another big third down play coming up.
Third down and 15. Got to shut them up. Third down and 9 now. Got to shut them down. I mean, basically right now you don't shut them down. They've got a touchdown. Trips to the far side this time for Mount Vernon. Shotgun formation for Dawson. Dawson's going to roll out to his right, look into the flats. He's got a man open across the middle. It's incomplete, in and out of the hands of the intended target. Looking for number 11 down there. That's Garrison Nordic. And it's going to be incomplete. It's going to make it 4th down and 9.
You look at the replay there. There was actually 2 guys open as he rolled out to his right. You look in the flat there, a late break by Seneca, but number 4 for Mount Vernon was wide open, and he probably would have had a touchdown. I don't know his name off the top of my head. But
that's either Jakai Kruger or Ty Orr, one of those two out there in that far. I thought it was number 4, maybe number 6.
I said number 4. So.
Okay, number 4, yeah. Jakai Kruger was the receiver out there open on the flats, coming in to attempt this.
It's 20, a field goal.
Let's see here, 29-yard field goal is Papa. Papa's going to give it a kick, and it's going to go through the uprights and good. 7:42 to go here in the opening quarter. Mount Vernon strikes first on a 29-yard field goal here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Looking for a personal checking account with real rewards? Open a Community Choice checking account at First Community Bank and earn up to $200. Get $100 when you set up direct deposit and another $100 after just 15 debit card purchases. No monthly service fee, free online and mobile banking, and interest paid on your balance. Open your account today with just $50 and start enjoying the perks. Call 888-780-8391 or visit firstcommunity.net for details. First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC. See bank for complete details.
And we welcome you back. Miller takes this one at the 17-yard line, lowers his shoulder at the 24-yard line, falls forward to the 25. Maybe first down and 10, Seneca at that point. And we were just talking off the air. First down and 10 from the 25 from Mount Vernon. That's a win for Seneca's defense, really, to only hold them to a field goal. They had 2 third-down situations.
You say that's a win, but at the same point, you're 3rd and 15 at the 35-yard line, where if it's 4th down, more than likely they're having to go for it. Yes, you're happy you only gave up 3, but if you stop them on 3rd down, they're going for it on 4th down.
First down and 10 for Seneca.
And we talked about ball security. Obviously, big here. It looks like the rain's lightened up, so hopefully that helps.
Going to send Jagger Wilson in motion. Handoff's going to go to Wilson to the left side on the end-around sweep. Wilson's got room to the side. He's at the 40, the 45, 50, 45, 35, 30, 25, 20. He's going to get caught. Not quite. Falling forward. He'll see if they're caught. Touchdown, Seneca Indians. Touchdown, Jagger Wilson, as he takes it in from 75 yards out. He almost got tripped up at the end.
He did get tripped up at the end, but you see there on the replay, excellent blocking that happened right in front of Coach as well. That doesn't happen. He's patient, and those wide receivers on that far side have to have good blocks for the Indians to be able to get a touchdown out of there.
I tell you what, he did a great job, guys, of when it's stretching the play out and sitting there relaxing, letting the blocks happen.
Great job by Wilson just to let that play develop. Now there's a penalty flag comes flying in from the near side judge. He's going to talk to the official. Seneca was trying to point after.
Somebody's got to be lined up off sides.
That can't happen. But they'll back him up 5 yards.
Yeah.
Make a little longer point after try for Sherwood.
That's the only thing I can think of, because they really weren't down in their set by any stretch of the imagination. Makes it a little more difficult, but
we've seen Drew hit some 45-yarders in pregame before. So
yeah, I don't think 5 yards is going to be too horrible for him.
We shouldn't have jinxed him. That's the commentator's jinx, Ben. Good snap, good hold. Kick is going to go up, and it is good.
No jinx, Seth.
7:23 to go here in the first quarter. Seneca strikes back and leads now 7-3 on the KNEO Sports Network.
Missourians know we've got their back. For 75 years, they've turned to Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance for dependable, personalized life insurance coverage. That's 75 years protecting families and the lives they've built. For small-town values and big-time protection, call Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We've got Missouri covered.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
And we welcome you back here at Mount Vernon Stadium as the Seneca Indians are winning now 7-3 after the 75-yard response by the Indians on one play. Jagger Wilson taking the jet sweep and finding pay dirt at the other end.
And, like Coach said and like I said, that play doesn't happen if if he's not. I'll let this play go and then we'll talk about it.
Sherwood's going to give a spiraling kick that's going to be fielded out at the 20-yard line there. And Roman Miller comes up, hits him first. Blaze Graham finishes him off. You see some firepower coming up from the Indians after last week having a kickoff return for a touchdown. They weren't going to let Ty Orr get any more ground than just a couple yards to 21.
Yeah, good job there on the kickoff team that time of making sure. And like you said, Roman Miller slowed him down and Blaze Graham finished him off. And now here, Mount Vernon, the first drive, got to start in plus territory. See if Seneca can continue this, making them have to drive a long ways.
Dawson going to go under center. Bunch trips to the near side, maybe a wingback formation, one running back behind him. Handoff's going to go to Conway. Conway's going to dance around. He's going to get hit immediately by Brant Laughlin as well as Blaze Graham as well as Brody Prober in there on the stop. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play, 2nd down and 9. He fielded that kickoff a while ago, Ben, at the 20-yard line, ran about 20 yards and got 1 yard for that. Kind of a lot of wasted energy trying to just get that 1 yard.
I don't think he was given a yard on that second
on that carry. Yeah, the carry, no, but I'm talking on the kickoff return. Yeah,
I got you.
Tell you what, that was good coaching right there. They had trips like they were to the left side, but our guys were lined up on their right side. They knew it was coming.
4-man front for Seneca. 4-2 look. 5 defensive backs now for the Indians. Twins are going to send a man in motion. Now he's going to come back. Dawson going to roll out to his left. Looking for the out route. Quick hitter. It's going to be caught by Felton. His favorite target to go to. Penalty flags come flying in at the 32-yard line. The back judge has that one. Maybe somebody came too far downfield. And we'll see. Maybe a holding on the defense. Not sure.
Other scenario is the offense pushing off.
It's holding against Seneca defense.
So I think you accept it because it's a first down otherwise.
Is it a situation in high school football where you have holding on the defense and a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down like is the NFL? I don't know.
Think it's automatic.
Because I don't see those a whole lot in high school football, holding on the defense.
And throw right there in the middle of the backer had somebody locked up or what?
Well, it looked like maybe Graham was locked up on him. I'm not sure. Sherwood was guarding Felton. So, not sure where he's at.
And I don't think it's an automatic first down because they're talking about the fact that it's interesting here because they're talking about, okay, it is a first down. And so they're going to give him a first down on the play.
Yeah, they declined the penalty.
Okay, they did. They declined the penalty.
Declined the penalty. It resulted in a first down.
Okay.
So they got up to about the 34-yard line, about a 12-yard pickup on the play. First pass completion for Mount Vernon to Felton. Felton is probably his favorite target. He was a favorite target of Johnson last year. Trips to the far side. Dawson looking to throw once again. He's got pressure in his face. He's going to be wrapped up and taken down by Hartgee. It's a loss on the play. They're wanting a penalty flag, but Hartgee just wrapped him up and just wrestled him into the ground.
They didn't blow the whistle dead, so I don't know why you want a penalty there.
Well, I think it's just the way he took him to the ground is what they're wanting the penalty on.
And right now, Seth, and it's right now, but right now the Seneca defensive line is owning the Mount Vernon offensive line.
Yes, right now they're doing that for sure. 2nd down and 14 coming up for Mount Vernon. Trips formation once again. Dawson's going to roll out looking downfield. He's got a man open. Incomplete, almost intercepted as it went off the hands of the intended target, number 5, Collier. And Collier tipped it up enough, then his teammate was almost able to haul it in as well.
Yeah, I said underneath my breath, I don't know if you could hear it. I was like, oh, pick it off. So, but again, right now, Brock Pendergraph had pressure in the quarterback's face right off the jump there, and I think that's a big thing for this Seneca team is right now the quarterback for Mount Vernon is not very comfortable at all in the pocket because he really hasn't had time. Anytime he's tried to throw the ball, Seneca's blowing it up in his face.
Trips to the far side this time for Dawson. Dawson's going to drop back to pass. Got pressure in his face, throwing the home run ball. Felton got tangled up, but that ball was going to be uncatchable. And I think that was a great call, no call there, because they just kind of ran into each other. Almost both of them fell.
Yeah, I think incidental contact there and 4th down now. So see if Seneca can get some good field position out of this play.
I missed a play, Ben, because I had us at 3rd down. I don't know where I've lost the play at. Maybe you can help me out. We had the one pass incompletion.
Before that,
the sack. Okay.
And you had a run for no gain, I believe.
Maybe it was the other pass incompletion, too.
Yeah, that
I don't know. We had the sack for sure, yeah. Either way, 4th down. 4th down and a long ways to go. Dawson back in punt formation for the Mountaineers. And Seneca is sending Blaze Graham back deep to receive on the 35-yard line. Oof. Seneca almost able to get in there. Hunter Haynes almost able to put a hand on that one. Bounces out of bounds at the 36-yard line. And they see where they mark it out. Probably went out about the 39. He's going to walk it up. And he's going to stop at the 38. So I was just off by a smidge.
Seneca obviously saw something in last week's tape because they brought the house, and they were very close to getting a hand on that. I don't know if that was Roman Miller that was close to it, but one of them
Hunter Haynes was the first man back there. He was almost able to get that one immediately.
They had a very good opportunity at that. And, last time was a jet sweep. Don't be surprised this time if you're just trying to ram it down their throats with Roman Miller.
Wilson going to go in motion once again. Handoff's going to go to Miller. He's going to dance around, makes the first man miss, makes the second man almost able to make him miss as the linebackers are shooting in there pretty quick. That was the safety coming up to finally make the play. He made the play quickly, recognized the play, and only allowed Miller to get 2 yards because safety's coming up. He's covering about 8 or 9 yards on that one to be able to stop Miller.
But you notice there you fake the jet sweep because that's what worked last time, and see if you can get guys to bite.
2 receivers the far side this time for Probert. He's looking over to Coach Hilburn. He's giving directions. Probert, handoff, fakes the handoff. He's going to go to the right side, gives a stiff arm. He's at the 45, makes a man miss at the 50. 45, penalty flag's thrown back at the 47-yard line, probably in the area of holding.
And it's the back judge that threw it, which is kind of interesting.
I'm sure that'll be a hold against Seneca because all kinds of room. Usually whenever you got a big play, there's a hold. We're going to bring it back. And there's another hold against Seneca. So we had a defensive holding on Seneca. Now we have an offensive holding on Seneca. They're going to throw the flag all the way back at the 45-yard line, so it'll take him to 35. So a net of about 4 yards on Probert's run after the penalty.
You mean minus 4?
Well, you got to understand.
Yes.
You watch out there, the defense, they're running a forefront, but their forefront is crashing on the inside a little bit. And that's the reason we're bouncing it out. We can get some runs on the outside. They want to get rid of the interior run, is what Vernon's trying to do.
Well, Jude King did an excellent job of getting that end tucked inside. I'm not sure if that's who they called the penalty on, but he did a good job of tucking him inside and giving him that bounce out lane.
2nd down, 13. Handoff's going to go to Miller. He gets hit. The first guy, he's holding on to that ball. They're trying to strip it once again from him. He's going to get back just to pass the original line of scrimmage to the 39. Going to make it 3rd down and 9.
And that's kind of what we were talking about, Seth, is, Seneca got behind the chains there. You have a big gain. Instead, it's wiped out. Now you're looking at 3rd down and long.
4 minutes to go, 4:23 to go here in the first quarter. Seneca leading 7-3. Twins for Probert. He's got an empty set.
Watch the quarterback draw here. If you can suck the linebackers up and block it, it could be wide open.
Just one linebacker right now playing a kind of a spy position. Probert's going to bust through at the 50-yard line, lowers his shoulder at the 47-yard line, falls across to the 44. He's got enough for the 1st down.
And like you see there on the replay, it's exactly what you said. You spread everybody out. You have the linebacker, and Probert made a miss, and actually I think the center picked him up a little bit, able to get to that 2nd level. There's nobody home, and you get a 1st down on the play.
So pick up about 17 yards on that one. Receivers each side this time. 2 receivers, to the far side with Sherwood and Graham. Jagger Wilson split out to the near side. 4-man front for Mount Vernon. It's going to be a pass. Probert going to look to throw. He's throwing it over the top to Wilson. Wilson's got it at the 31-yard line, and he falls down to the 25-yard line. Great catch there by Jagger Wilson. He put it out there just a little too far. He didn't want to throw this one. Had a nice little wheel route there, and Wilson hauls it in at the 25.
Yeah, did a good job there and throws it with that touch over the defender, and Jagger Wilson is making some plays here so far early on.
3:29 to go here in the opening quarter. 1st down and 10 for Seneca. Ball at the 25-yard line. Handoff's going to go to Miller to the left side. He's got a gap. He makes a man miss. Oh, he gets upended at the 20-yard line. Woo! He came down hard, but luckily he bounces right back off the turf. He had his legs taken out from underneath him. 2nd down and 4.
And a good job there on the ends for Seneca of cracking down and being able to let Miller get to that 2nd level.
Receivers to each side this time. Aiden Crane in tight on the far side. H-back checks in as Silas Ball. Handoff's going to go to Miller. He's going to get behind Jace Renfro. He's got blockers set up at the 5. Touchdown Seneca Indians. Touchdown Roman Miller as he takes it in from 19 yards out.
And Seneca's just proving, hey, we're going to run the ball. They run to that left strong side. You have a kick-out block by, I'm not sure who that was. It looks
Jace Renfro was out there, and Blaze Graham was out there as well blocking.
I was going to say, I think it was Blaze Graham that picked up that block for the Indians and into the end zone for Seneca.
Sherwood on for the point after. Brant Laughlin holding. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, kind of wobbly, but it sneaks through the uprights. 14-3 is your score, 2:47 to go. In the first quarter, we're going to take a 30-second break.
KNEO would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and livestock to help wanted and real estate. It covers a 70-mile radius in the 4-state area and is available in area businesses each week. Located at 1931 East 20th Street, Suite 103 in Joplin, Missouri. Their telephone number is 417-624-4100.
Yep. And we welcome you back to Mount Vernon, Missouri, as the Indians add to their lead. Game sponsors for tonight's game: Newmac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, Prelude Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Healthcare Ministries, and the Seneca School District. So we've had a lot of action this first quarter. We had a 3-place fumble by Seneca. Then you had a field goal by Mount Vernon. Seneca forces an out by scores immediately right back on one play as the ball is end over end. It's going to be fielded there by Orr at the 20-yard line. He's trying to get to the edge, and it's going to be pushed out of bounds. Excuse me, that was Conway fielding that one as Silas Ball pushed his blocker, and the blocker made the runner go out of bounds.
Make sure you stay tuned after tonight's game for the Final Drive Scoreboard Show, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Also, check out our live scoreboard during the game. Go to kneo.org/sports. Click on the scoreboard link to get latest scores from games around the area as they are happening.
Good last two possessions by Seneca. First one wasn't so nice. The last two have been nice. Stacked Twins for Mount Vernon. Conway looking to throw, looking for the quick hit to the out route, and it's going to be dropped as he was looking on the out route to number 4. That's Kruger. Kruger drops that one, or maybe that was number 6. Can't tell.
Number 7.
Number 7, okay. Number 7, Asa Lutz. That was going to fall incomplete, and it's going to make it 2nd down and 10.
And Seth, you notice they're starting to roll him out to try and give him a little bit more time here.
Well, you say breathing room like that. I mean, they've gotten to the quarterback. That's why they're going to the out route. So they're trying to get rid of the ball quickly on those timed routes.
And they're trying to give him more time by rolling him out, too. You know, Seneca's doing a good job of getting pressure with just their line, which is what we talked about they needed tonight.
They're going to hand the jet sweep to number 2. Probert's giving chase, and he's going to, just slides out of that one, but Roman Miller finishes him up. The handoff was given, I believe, to number 6, Orr.
We got a flag here. We're on the sideline, boys.
On the far side, yeah, I see that lane there. I didn't see that at first, Coach. Thanks. That was number 2, Shane, on the carry. And that's a hold against Mount Vernon. So that's probably going to march them back from the 32-yard line, excuse me.
Make it 2nd down and long. 2nd down and about 18. If it's from the 32. You obviously take the penalty because otherwise it'd be 3rd down and about 3.
Seneca Indian football brought to you tonight by Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home, the Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, Marine Center Incorporated, Community Bank and Trust, Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Doug's Body Works, Prairie Top Chiropractic, and Cedar Lane Farm and Garden.
Well, it can't be a 5-yard penalty. They're at the...
Well, it's from the spot of the
it's 23. Okay.
It's at the 23.
I was thinking because we thought 32. That's correct.
So 2nd down and 17 coming up for Mount Vernon. Twins again for Conway. Conway's going to send Dawson. Dawson's going to send a man in motion. They're going to fake it to him. Dawson's going to keep it himself. Hunter Haynes is going to try to chase him down, and Dawson's going to get enough for the 1st down. They bit on the jet sweep.
Well, it might be coming back again.
Yeah,
I think there's a flag somewhere.
I don't see it, but there is a penalty flag on. I think it came from
the
near
far
sideline,
right at the line of scrimmage.
So it might be a legal formation, a legal shift. So somebody was in motion that shouldn't have been, and that wipes out a huge gain for Mount Vernon. It'll make it 2nd and 22.
A lot of penalties here in this first quarter. 2:19 to go here in the first quarter. Seneca leading 14-3.
You know, Seneca has cleaned things up a little bit compared to last week. You know, so far they've cleaned it up.
Don't do the commentator's jinx spin. That's all I ask.
Well, last time it worked.
We've had a couple penalties so far. We've had a couple holding penalties. One of them got declined. We did have a hold, and we had an illegal procedure, legal substitution to start the game. So it wasn't quite like last night's NFL opener where they had a player get injured on the first play, then they had a player get ejected on the second play. So a lot of crazy things happening in football right now. Twins for Dawson. Stacked Twins. And penalty flags come flying in from the back judge once again.
Delay of game. The clock's at 0.
Good call there, Ben.
That's the only thing I can think of.
I can't see anything else. I can't even see the play clock. So, and it is a
illegal substitution
again.
My goodness.
So that's going to march him back 5 more yards. It's going to make it 2nd down and 27 all the way at the 13.
I didn't think 25 seconds had come off, but it was at 0. That was the only thing I could think of.
Seneca Indian Football brought to you by 4 State Sports Report, Dairy Queen of Seneca, First Community Bank, and Neosho Chamber of Commerce. Again, the stacked Twins look for Mount Vernon. A little rub route may be coming. Dawson's going to get the pass out to Felton on a screen, but Brant Laughlin sheds his blocker right at the 15-yard line. Great job by Laughlin to get rid of the blocker and take down Felton to make it 3rd down and 25 at the 15.
Like you said, Laughlin able to shed a blocker, but a good job there. I think Probert was the other one out there maybe.
That's Sherwood out there.
Sherwood out there too, and neither of them bid on anything. And I expect a safe play here for Mount Vernon. Your ball sitting at your 15-yard line, an out route potentially, maybe a draw or just a safe run here with you backed up against your end zone and only a minute to go here in the quarter.
Trips to the far side. Dawson going to roll out to his right. Got pressure in his face. Aiden Crane's going to get to him and wrap him up, and they're going to blow that one dead as he's in the grasp of several defenders all the way back at the 11-yard line. Aiden Crane have a first quarter, young man. 2 sacks already in this contest.
It's 4th and a country mile. I know that much.
Well, let's see where they mark his forward progress. We'll give him the 11, so a loss of 4 in the play. 4th and 29 coming up.
And Seneca knows that, so they're sending 2 guys back deep to a return here. They're setting up for a return.
Dawson standing in his own end zone about 3 yards deep. 4-man look for Seneca. That doesn't look like they're bringing pressure this time. They're kind of going to punt safe. And it's going to be a wobbly kick that's going to go out of bounds at about the 40-yard line is where it touches down out of bounds. They're going to mark this one probably all the way back up to the 35, so didn't even get past the yard to gain marker.
And they're going to mark it at 38.
So 1st down and 10 for Seneca as they have another possession here in the first quarter as it's winding down with just 17 seconds to go. Excuse me.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
That last sack by Hayden Crane, I don't even think he just kind of run into him. They missed assignment somewhere.
Probert, 2 receivers to the left. Silas Ball on the left side at the H-back. Roman Miller to the left of him. Probert looking to throw. Now he's just going to take off and run. He's going to bounce to the left side, gets behind Roman Miller's block. Penalty flag thrown at the 41, probably in the area of holding.
Yeah, the referee threw that one, so you could tell it was coming back right away. Probert did a good job of waiting, but when he bounces it outside like that, sometimes as a tackle there, you're holding on and you don't expect him to be bouncing outside.
2nd down and long now coming up for the Indians with just about 10 seconds to go in this one.
Well, if they accept the penalty, Seth, it'll still be 1st down.
You're right, sorry. 1st down all the way back to the 48-yard line. 1st down and 20. I don't know why I said that again. Sorry about that.
And Seneca doesn't have to snap it, and they're not going to bother. Well, they might.
Maybe they are.
Yeah.
3, 2. Probert takes the snap. Going to run the option. Probert's going to pitch it, and he's going to get hit, and he falls right back onto it. That was one he should have kept because the cornerback came up and blew that play up, took out Roman Miller's legs as soon as he received the pitch. Luckily for him, he fell right back on top of it at the 48, and that's going to do it for the first quarter play. Seneca leads 14-3 here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
I'm Bryce Johnson with this Unpacking It Sports and Faith Minute. It seems to happen every football season. A player is about to score a touchdown, but they lose focus and drop the ball before they actually cross the goal line. In our own lives, we often get distracted and lose focus on what's most important. Instead of focusing on the end zone, we get caught up in worldly pursuits or worldly troubles. When we aren't focused on God first, it's like walking into the end zone without the ball. It's pointless. Instead of being distracted, anxious, and impatient, we can hold on to the promise of Matthew 6:33, but seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. As we seek what's important to God, everything else finds its proper place, and we have all we need in Him. Today, are we dropping the ball because we've lost focus, or are we seeking God above all else? I'm Bryce Johnson, and you can unpack that. For more, go to thesportsdevotional.com.
And we welcome you back to start action here in the second quarter of play. Seneca looking at a 2nd down and 20 as they have the ball on Mount Vernon's 48-yard line after a holding penalty marched him back 10 yards. Jagger Wilson split out to the near side, Sherwood and Graham to the far side.
Watch a draw here.
4 defensive linemen for Mount Vernon. Option play this time is going to be a pitch to Miller. Miller's got a little bit of room. He's going to be bottled up quickly and gets bent backwards kind of awkwardly as coming up to make the play, number 11, Nordic. Marcus Ford progress just shy of the 45, so we'll give him a gain of 3 on that play.
3rd down and long here for Seneca. This is where you could see them empty it out and try a draw play potentially. If you can suck that linebacker up and block him, there's nobody home because they are going empty here.
So Mount Vernon has basically 5 defensive back as they put Dawson as a defensive back as well.
Watch one-on-one on this near side.
No one in the backfield for Probert. Probert going to drop back to pass. He's got pressure in his face, makes one guy miss. Now he's going to heave it downfield. Hunter Haynes coming back to it. It's going to be incomplete as he had to go up for that one with number 4, Kruger, on the pass coverage. Probert did a good job to elude the first guy, heaved it up downfield, and maybe if Haynes took off and ran a little bit further, he had that one.
It was an out and up there. Sherwood tried to clear out the safety there. The safety did a good job of not biting, and Haynes jumped for it, and it looked like it may have gone through his hands, but good job by Probert, good job by Haynes to try and get that and make sure that Mount Vernon doesn't have good field position.
First punt on the night for the Indians. Wilson's going to punt this at the 45. It's going to go out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. Right at that spot. Just kind of stood right there after. It never went out of bounds either. It was great pinpoint accuracy by Wilson. Just like to have it a little bit deeper.
Yeah. But no return on the play, so I think you'll take that. If you're Seneca Community Bank and Trust, proudly serving our customers for the past 140 years, you may visit their branch, 1102 South Cherokee, for all your banking needs. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender, proud sponsor of the Seneca Indians. And to keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ball game schedule, be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KNEO Radio. Follow us on X at KNEO917 Sports.
Twins for Dawson this time. He's going to look. Quick hitter this time. Out route's going to be incomplete as it falls well short of the intended target. That's Kruger.
And you wonder, there's no pressure in his face, but you have to wonder, Seth, if the pressure is speeding up the internal clock for this quarterback.
Yeah, it may be.
Because, the wide receiver there wasn't even out of his route, and it bounced 5 feet in front of him.
It kind of looked like when he threw the ball back, it slipped out of his hands a little bit. But, like I said, they haven't found anybody that can catch the ball tonight.
They have 2 completed passes, both of them I believe on a screen. There was one out route and there was a screen play as well. Empty set this time for Dawson. Trips to the far side, 2 receivers on the near side. Seneca going man, going to send a man in motion. They're going to hand it off to him. That's going to be Conway. Conway's going to get to the edge, and Probert's going to give chase, and Haynes is going to knock him out of bounds, not before Conway can get across the 35 to the 37-yard line for a first down and pick up about 12 on the play.
Yeah, just better job of them out pursuing, and on this side, Hunter Haynes did a good job of coming up, but I think somebody took not as great an angle as they would have liked.
10:52 to go here in the first half of play. Seneca leading 14-3. Ball on this near hash at the 37-yard line. 3 receivers to the far side once again, 2 to the near side. Dawson empty backfield. Going to send a man in motion once again. And it's going to be a fake to him. Now Dawson's going to take it himself. Aiden Crane trying to get there first, bottles him up, and the rest of the Cavalry's going to come up and finish him off. Great job by Crane to bust that one up because Dawson kind of a read option for him. He thought about handing it off to the jet man, decided to take it himself, and Aiden Crane did a good job to break that one up, having a great game on defense.
Well, I was just going to say it might help that your dad's the defensive coordinator, and he might have gotten a little bit of a butt chewing after last week, and he's making up for it.
I know he did a great job standing that blocker up, and the quarterback had no place to go, and he just waiting on the cavalry to get there.
Loss of 4 on the play, 2nd down and 14. Conway in the backfield with Dawson this time. 2 receivers to each side. Drop back to pass. Got pressure in his face, looking to set up the screen to Conway. Probert reads it, but he's unable to make the play. Blaze Graham going to up in Conway at about the 42-yard line.
Yeah, Probert came downhill there, but I think he was a little bit too aggressive there and just kind of outran him to the spot, and the receiver was able to avoid him. And you could tell there, Seth, that they had a screen set up because they let everybody go, and I think Seneca caught it a little bit too late.
9-yard pickup there to Conway on the screen pass.
But here, if you're Seneca, you still have a chance to get off the field if you can stop them here on 3rd down.
3rd down and a long way to go, 5-6 yards. We'll count it. Going to send a man in motion once again. Now they have twins. Dawson going to roll it to his left. Got pressure in his face. He's going to throw it incomplete. The receiver wasn't even turned around yet. Sherwood almost had a pick 6 easily.
But you had Pendergraph, you had Crane already in the quarterback's face, and he was rolling the wrong way, Seth. He threw that with his offhand because he had to get rid of the ball.
Ball placed at the 42-yard line. That's going to be 3rd down.
4th down.
4th down and about 6 to go. I'm going to say 5. Looks more like 5 to me.
Yeah, I have 4th and 5.
Back deep to receive Hunter Haynes. Dawson awaiting the snap. And it's going to be a good snap this time. Seneca bringing a little bit of pressure. Brock Pendergraph coming back there, and Hunter Haynes calling for the fair catch. He's going to retreat inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Good punt there by Hunter Dawson to put Penn Seneca deep at their own 15.
Everett at the Neosho Daily News. Wish the Seneca Indians good luck. Let's go get that win. And, Seth, right now the turnovers are 1-0 in favor of Mount Vernon, but Seneca still able to run the ball kind of at will here for the Indians.
Game brought to you tonight by Mid-America Specialty Markets, Missouri Farm Bureau Agent Josh Dotson, Gas and Snack, and Huddle Springs Church of Christ. Receivers to each side this time for Probert. H-back is Silas Ball. He's on the left. No Kai Adams tonight for the Indians. It's going to be a fake to Miller. Probert's going to take it right up the middle, leaping forward, diving forward to about the 21-yard line to pick up a 6 on the play, making it 2nd down and 4.
And Seneca does an excellent job, it seems like, on those ones of blocking because at this point, I think everybody knows what's coming, and Seneca is still able to get 5-6 yards of carry.
I was looking at our stats, and it says we have 149 yards rushing, and Probert and Miller don't have a carry over 20 yards, but then I remember Jagger Wilson had that 75-yarder go the distance. So that's a good chunk of yardage there. Handoff's going to go to Miller this time to the right side, bouncing back to the 30-yard line at the 40, 45, 50. Got a man to beat. Let's see if he has enough gas to get there at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Seneca Indians. Touchdown, Roman Miller as he takes it in from 79 yards out. Great running. Great job to elude the defenders on that one.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it there on the replay. They did a good job blocking it down, and then he bounces it to the outside, and he's able to make a couple guys miss, and we were just joking about them not having a carry of over 20 yards, and he just busted one about 77.
The big thing I want you to take away from that run by Miller, he had a guy right on his heels. Instead of Miller continuing in a straight line, he veered back and forth so that way the defender couldn't get a good angle to catch his feet. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and it is good. 9:03 to go here in the first half. Seneca now leads 21-3 on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Proudly supporting the Seneca Indians is Doug's Body Works. Owned and operated by Doug Scribner, they offer a 24-hour wrecker service and specialize in auto body and frame repair. Doug's Body Works is located at 1008 Oneida in Seneca and is proud to serve the local area. 417-776-8611. Go Indians!
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Indians!
And we welcome you back here to Mountaineer Stadium as Seneca leads this one 21-3. Mount Vernon's got the diamond return set up back there, so you got to watch out, make sure they don't run up and hand it off to one guy and send three different guys different directions. So you got to take care of that one.
And you notice Seneca's been trying to angle it all night long, and now they're trying to.
Conway's going to take this one. He's going to spin out of a couple defenders, trying to spin back the other way, and he's finally going to be bottled up and taken down at about the 31-yard line.
And, you know, so far, Seth, obviously there's still a long ways to go in this one, but I think Seneca, this is their third kickoff. They've done a much better job on their kickoffs of staying in their lanes. And like Cody talked about in his coach's show, you know, you don't get a lot of live bullets of those in practice because you would injure a lot of kids, so you don't really practice that at full speed. So trying to get them those live bullets, I think last week helped out, and obviously probably practice it a little bit here this week as well.
Dawson has trips to the far side this time for the Mountaineers. It's a delay play now to number 35, I believe it is. He's trying to cut to the outside, quickly wrapped up by Blaze Graham. I believe it came up and made the stop on that play.
That could have been a bigger gainer than what it was, so a good job by Graham to get off his block and only allow a gain of about 3, it looks like.
Cordray on the carry, number 35 for Mount Vernon. So a pick up a few yards in the play. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line. A pick up a 3, 2nd down and 7.
Both teams still a long ways to go till halftime, but neither team has had to burn a timeout yet.
8:18 to go. Going to send a man in motion. Looking deep downfield, got a man open over the middle, and that's going to be broken up at the last second. Great job by Hunt, and the penalty flag comes flying in really late. I'm not sure about that one. That looked like an excellent play by Hunter Haynes. You can watch this on the replay because he just wraps around and bats that one away. They're going to say maybe.
He may have gotten there a step early and wrapped the shoulder around.
Yeah, may have. Man, that's a tough call right there to throw that one. He was delayed, and maybe he couldn't get the flag out of his pocket, but Coach Hilburn is not. He's like, we're doing exactly what we teach our guys to do. How can you call that?
And I'm not sure which coach is having to, but
yeah, somebody's trying to bring Coach Hilburn back to the sidelines. He is not happy about that call at all.
You obviously don't want to tack on an extra 15 for an.
They're calling helmet to helmet, personal foul, helmet to helmet for targeting. I don't know where the targeting was at, though.
It wouldn't have been Haynes because Haynes was trying to wrap up.
They were saying Blaze Graham on the other side.
That would be the only other one that it could have been, which I could see that. But, yeah, like you said.
I didn't see that at all. I mean, either way, 1st down and 10. Dawson with the quick hitter. That's going to be incomplete, looking for Felton on that far side.
And that also might be why Coach Hilburn is so hot. I mean, it's not college where you get kicked out, but
either way, though, it's. I mean, I understand trying to keep everybody safe. That's the ultimate priority. But I don't think Blaze Graham came in there leading with his head, leading with his shoulder. He was trying to make a play on the ball.
The only thing I can think of that would have anything to do with it would be a defensive, like college, defenseless. I can't say it.
Defenseless receiver.
In the shoulder and neck area, or shoulder up to head.
2nd down and 10 for Mount Vernon. 8:07 to go here in the opening half. Going to send a man in motion. That's going to be Kruger. Penalty flags come flying in from the back judge once again as it may be a delay. It is a delay.
The other thing I'm starting to wonder about, which we saw it a little bit in the Jamboree, Seth, is number 4. He's kind of going forward a little bit at the snap like you're playing AFL rules or Canadian Football League rules. And I wonder if at some point they're going to catch him on that because I've noticed that the past 3 or 4 times.
It looks like Mount Vernon's going to take a timeout. We'll step aside with them. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Singing is my career and my calling, but I'm also a mother of 4.
And as entrepreneurs, we weigh the cost of every decision.
Medical bills are no longer a worry for our family, so I can focus on my calling.
And our family.
Joining Christian Healthcare Ministries was one of the best decisions we ever made. We're the Blair family, and this is our CHM story.
Choose your doctor without network restrictions, all at an affordable price. Enroll anytime at chministries.org/enroll.
The Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce is an organization that exists to make Southwest Missouri a better place to live. That is why they are proud supporters of high school athletics. They understand that the life lessons learned from sporting competition teaches responsibility and discipline and makes our student athletes better citizens for tomorrow. Learn more about local area events online at neoshowcc.com. Proud supporters of local school athletics.
Second down and 15, and they're going to give a handoff to Felton on the end around, trying to get him involved in the game somehow. He's going to get an end around and make it all the way up to the other 42-yard line on the play. So a pickup of about 14 on the play. They're going to be a yard short of the first down, third down and 1.
Yeah, right now the passing game isn't working, so they're trying to find those kind of gadget plays to see if they can get some yards here.
So 14-yard pickup. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, he was off the ball out here, but it was a tackle that was the end of the line. His unbalanced line.
Quickly up to the ball. Handoff's going to go to Conway. Conway's got enough for the first down, and Seneca's just going to get it's a wad of players right now fighting for extra yards. Going to have him all the way up to about the 36-yard line, 35-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play for Conway. Seneca Indian Football brought to you tonight by People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Healthcare Ministries, Seneca School District, Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home, Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, Marine Center Incorporated, and Community Bank and Trust. First down and 10, ball at the 35. Now going with that quick huddle is Mount Vernon. Handoff's going to go to Conway. He's going to bounce it right up the middle. He's going to get hit immediately. It looks like Landon Hartgee might be the first one there, taking him down, as well as Brant Laughlin, and maybe a gain of a half a yard on the play.
You notice, last week when Cassville was successful, it was kind of that sugar huddle, and they may be going to that.
So second down and 9 coming up for Mount Vernon. Seneca defense doing a good job so far tonight. Got to keep it up here as this drive continues. Quickly now, Dawson's just going to take it on the quarterback keeper. Roman Miller's going to battle him, and Dawson's going to almost spring free to the 25-yard line, enough for the first down. Now, they can't do anything else, so why not just let your quarterback, your best runner, your biggest runner, take it?
Why not? Like you said. And I think it's a first down they gave him. So
first down and 10 at the 25. Ball pickup of about 10 on that quarterback keeper.
Yeah, that's been the most success, is the quarterback run for them right now.
Dawson has 10 positive yards on the night tonight. Take away his sacks, because those go against your rushing yards. Backley quickly up. Dawson's just going to take it once again. Hand it off to Conway to the left side. He's going to burst through the first couple of guys, still on his feet, fighting through defenders. Blaze Graham going to take him down to about the 11-yard line, 12-yard line. Seneca's got to find a way to blow that up so they can have success. A 13-yard pickup for Conway.
Yeah, we're not getting low enough on the D line here. We're getting kind of moved off the ball into the linebackers, and they're having a hard time reading it where he's at.
Ball at the 12 for Mount Vernon.
And that may have been an unbalanced line there again. They're going heavy.
6:40 to go here in the opening half. It's going to be a toss to Conway. Conway trying to get to the edge, and there's not going to be an edge for his prober, and it looks like Brock Pendergraft take him out of bounds. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play.
I think no gain.
No gain on the play.
If not a loss.
Push that one out immediately. Second down and 10 at the 12.
I think they lost a yard, Seth.
They do have him back 1 yard, don't they, Ben? A loss of 1 on the play.
Well, you notice, too, they're trying to go to the outside and to the near side. Seneca's using that as an extra defender. And
penalty
I think
flag's thrown this time from the near side judge. It looks like maybe somebody shifting or didn't quite get set before they snapped the ball. Dead balls type of.
Oh.
It's against. Oh.
So it's offside. Yeah.
Lined up in the neutral zone.
But it's on the offense, which is a very rare thing that you see.
Well, usually that's the sign of defensive encroachment. I don't see that given very much to the offense.
I don't either.
Let's go marching back 5 yards to the 17, 18-yard line. Second down and 16.
But that also may take them out of that. You notice, Seth, all of a sudden they've gone a little bit smaller back here again. They took out a couple of those bigger backs that may have been at tight end, and now you're going a little bit more spread.
Empty set for Dawson. Trips to the far side, 2 receivers to the near side. Gonna send a man in motion. That's Cordray. Cordray is going to take the handoff. No, it's going to be Dawson taking it right up the middle, and Landon Hartgee is going to wrap him up. It's hard to, that's Aiden Crane. It's hard to take him down. He ran right out of his shoe, did Dawson.
But Crane read that beautifully. He kind of took both of them there. He took the quarterback as well as the receiver, read it beautifully, made him not hand it off and was able to hold him up long enough to have no gain on the play, maybe a loss of 1.
They got the ball spotted at about the 19, so it is a loss of 1. They have it at one spot. They move it back. I'm not going to complain about that, but a loss of 1 for Dawson on that carry. Looked like there's a timeout on the field from Mount Vernon. 6:02 to go here in the opening half. We'll step aside for 30 seconds.
Cedar Lane Farm and Garden at 143 Cherokee Avenue in Seneca is your local feed dealer and a supporter of Seneca Indian sports. Offering vet, livestock, and pet products, Cedar Lane also carries a full line of farm and garden supplies. For more information, contact Cedar Farm and Garden on Cherokee Avenue in Seneca today. The number is 417-776-8231. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. through 2 p.m. for your convenience. Go Indians!
And we welcome you back here with 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Seneca leading 21-3. Mount Vernon knocking on the door. They're looking at a third down and about 17 from the 19-yard line. So they can get a first down at about the 2.5-yard line. Dawson, 6'5", 220 pounds. I don't think he's actually hardly been down to the ground yet because he's a strong quarterback for Mount Vernon. But Seneca's been right there, and they slow him down enough for the rest of the cavalry to come in. They went that quick hurry-up sugar offense, and they kind of looked a little bit tired after that one. Conway in the backfield with Dawson. Going to send him in motion. That's Kruger. Kruger going to take off downfield. Dawson's got time, stepping up into the pocket, and he's going to take off and run. Prober going to come up and hit him, and Dawson's going to go in the end zone, but there's penalty flags all the way back to the 25-yard line, probably in the area of holding.
Yeah, this one's coming back because the referee is the one that has it, and it is a hold.
So holding on Mount Vernon. As Seneca was getting pressure because Dawson had all kinds of time to throw, and whenever usually you have about 4 seconds, there's usually somebody holding on to somebody somewhere.
Yeah, I think Pendergraft, maybe Renfro got held up there in the middle. Two guys got in one gap, though, is the problem if you're Seneca. That's why he was able to find a running lane.
Ball all the way back now to the 29-yard line. Third down and 27 coming up for Mount Vernon. Just under 6 minutes to go in the first half. Game brought to you by Mid-America Specialty Insurance Markets, Missouri Farm Bureau Agent Josh Dotson, Gas and Snack, and Hoddle Springs Church of Christ. 3 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. Everybody set. Dawson going to backpedal. Looking deep downfield. He gets hit as he throws, and that ball's going to be almost intercepted. Blaze Graham had a step on it, but just unable to catch up to it because Dawson got hit by Aiden Crane. Good pressure there by Crane.
There was 2 Seneca defenders there and no Mount Vernon offensive players there. If Graham had been able to get a hold of that easily could have been a pick 6. And this is a very long field goal attempt. It's about 45 yards.
Papa on to attempt this 45-yarder for Mount Vernon. 5:48 to go. Here
maybe 46.
I guess stepping back, 46 yards. He's got it. I mean, if you want it anywhere, it's on the right hash. That's going to kind of play into his leg, swinging through on the kick. Waiting the snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it looks like it's going to be just short as it bounces down at the back of the end zone. 5:43 to go. Seneca will take over first down and 10 from their own 29-yard line.
That's a good hold there for Seneca, Seth. They had to punt the ball, and Mount Vernon was able to start driving, and a good job there by Seneca to be able to hold. And you think about it, 5:43, a long time to go until we hit halftime. Seneca will have to kick off to start the second half, but you would love to punch in another one here before halftime.
11 plays there for Mount Vernon on the last drive, taking just under 4 minutes off the clock as the ball is going to go to the 20-yard line. So it doesn't go to the 29 to the original, to the back to the line of scrimmage. I guess we don't have a whole lot of missed field goals, so it goes back to the 20-yard line.
That's interesting.
Almost
usually,
like a touchback.
Yeah, it's usually from where you kicked it.
2 running backs in now as Hunter Haynes checks in. Haynes is going to take the ball, run to the right side. He makes one man miss, still on his feet, head of steam going forward, and he's going to have enough for the first down to about the 32-yard line. Good run there by Hunter Haynes on first down.
And you look at that strong side running behind there is Haynes, and they were able to get to the linebackers. And if he had been able to make one guy miss, he would have been off to the races. He hasn't been needed at the running back position a lot, but he's a very good running back and is able to spell Roman Miller if need be.
3-man front now for Mount Vernon, 3-4 look. Handoff's going to go to Miller to the right side. He's going to bounce around a little bit, dance around a little bit, get down a little bit at the 35-yard line. I'll call him at the 34. The far side judge has him. Just a gain of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8. I didn't want to say get down tonight. I didn't quite go there. So just a 2-yard gain for Miller on that one.
You going back to your disco days?
I'm not, Coach, that's you. That's not me. Trips to the near side this time for Probert. Fakes the handoff to Miller. Now he's going to get behind Miller's block. Going to try to bounce to the right side. He's going to get tripped up at about the 40-yard line, stretching out. Makes the 41. Pickup of about 7 on the play. 3rd down and 1, excuse me.
Well, Seth, Roman Miller has a long gain. Jagger Wilson has a long gain. How about Brody Probert takes one to the house right now?
That would be about a 59-yarder. I'd be okay with that. Graham split out to the near side with Sherwood. 4:25 to go here in the first half. Or just a long drive to end up this first half would be nice as well. Probert looking over the defense. Going to hand it off to Miller. Miller stutter step in the backfield. Explodes through the hole. He's got enough for the first down. Still on his feet, breaking through tackles. Nobody's going to take him down until he gets across midfield to the 46-yard line. Great 3rd and 4th effort there by Probert. Great blocking by Jude King on that far side. He comes up fired up after leading the way for Miller.
Well, you think about this drive, too. This can be a backbreaker for this Mount Vernon defense. You know, you have a long drive, you don't get any points, and if Seneca could somehow come away with points here, they might be pretty deflated going into halftime.
Boy, the targeting 15-yard penalty as well as the quarterback sneak for 12 yards was their biggest plays of that carry. Probert's going to take it to the left side. He's going to get hit hard and drop to the turf almost immediately as he gets across the 45 to the 43, a pickup of 3 on the carry. That's kind of stopped him in his tracks, almost like he took on the blocker and then took down Probert with him. Kind of a weird tackle, high tackle there on by the Mount Vernon defender.
Well, Seth, you also think about for Mount Vernon, they had a touchdown taken off the board on a holding call on what was like a 3rd and about 17.
3:30 to go here in the opening half. Wilson split out to the far side. Graham and Sherwood to the near side. 4-man front this time for Mount Vernon. Probert's going to get behind Miller's block, dancing around a little bit. Got enough for the first down. Miller's going to help him along the way. He's going to have enough for the first down to the 31-yard line. Right now, they're just coming at you right up the middle. They went back to that 4-man front, trying to take away the middle for Seneca.
But Seneca is able to get to those linebackers. You see it there on the replay. You're able to get to the middle linebackers, and Brody Probert is strong enough that he took a guy for a ride as well.
Haynes split out to the far side this time as Silas Ball checks in at the H-back spot. Now Mount Vernon crowding the line, looking like they're going to send defenders. Miller's going to go to the right side. He's going to take defenders with him and get about to the 25-yard line. A pickup of 6 on the play for Miller on that carry. I think Mount Vernon now is just starting to send the dogs if they can because they see that Seneca's winning the line up front. They're trying to give some reinforcements to their battered defensive line.
This is where, if you're Seneca, I know the run game's working well, but this is where play-action pass can come into play. Just dunk one over the linebackers' heads because they're blitzing.
2:38 to go here in the first half. Probert's going to take it to the right side. Going to get stood up at the line to gain, and is going to power his way down inside the 20 to the 19. Pickup of 6 on the play.
Well, if you notice, guys, that the Mount Vernon's not in their forefront anymore. They went odd. They went 3 front.
They've switched back and forth in this drive a couple times. They've gone back and forth because
and the Seneca front line is picking it up on who to block and get.
Yeah, so now they're going back to that 3 front, which I think they're thinking Seneca's going to pass. I'm not sure. Handoff's going to go to Miller. Makes a cutback at the 15 to 10, 5. Touchdown, Seneca Indians. Touchdown, Roman Miller, as he takes it in from 19 yards out, and the Indians add to their lead.
Well, you look at the right side of the line there for Seneca. That's Pendergraph. That's that's Pendergraph. That's Renfro. You also have a very good block there by Jude King as well for Seneca, and he was able to kick somebody out to let Roman Miller get into the end zone.
Sherwood on now for the point after try. Laughlin, the holder. Good snap, good hold. Kick is going to go up, and it splits the uprights. 2:11 to go. Seneca leading 28-3 here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
And we welcome you back here as Seneca leading 28-3 with just 2:11 to go here in the first half. This has been last week we had a quick first half. This week it's kind of slowed down a little bit. 8:03.
Well, you have a little bit more scoring here, Seth.
Well, more scoring and more passing attempts.
That too, yeah.
Mount Vernon has several Seneca only 2 passing attempts on the night so far. And so far on the night for Mount Vernon, 11 passing attempts. A lot of penalties too. That'll do it for sure. A lot of penalties, a lot of passing attempts. That's going to slow play down quite a bit. Clock stoppage. Back deep to receive for Mount Vernon. Looks like Conway's back there, as well as number 6 or as well as number 11 possibly. That is Nordic. High end-over-end kick that's going to be fielded at about the 21-yard line. Trying to look for a little bit of room and quickly wrapped up by Blaze Graham. That's number 12, Jeff Zerby. That is Jarrett Zerby's little brother. Jarrett Zerby, a tremendous wide receiver for Mountaineers over the last couple years. May have been an all-state selection last year.
I don't remember.
Certain on that one.
If you're Mount Vernon here, you got 1 timeout, 2:06 to go till halftime. Do you just try and take this to the half? Seneca has all 3 of their timeouts defensively.
Seneca will not get the ball to start the second half, so Mount Vernon may be looking for a 2-for-1 type of situation. Felton going to go in motion. Now he's going to go back to the trips. Looking for the screen route, and he's going to be upended immediately by Blaze Graham, I believe it is, coming up to make the stop. Good job by Graham to take out Felton's feet. Felton had nowhere to run on that quick screen play.
Well, Aiden Crane had a hand up. If he had somehow been able to get a hold of that one, he would have danced into the end zone.
2nd down and 10. No gain on the quick screen pass.
And the clock continues to wind here. Seneca does have all 3 timeouts if they want to take advantage of that at some point.
The empty set for Mount Vernon. Trips to the near side. Penalty flag thrown. Looks like maybe an encroachment on Aiden Crane as he's talking to the Seneca sideline. And that'll march him forward 5 yards. So defensive encroachment against Seneca. That make it 2nd down and 5.
The other thing it does for Mount Vernon is it stops the clock, too. I don't think they'll... Nope, it does wind.
Trips to the near side. 2 receivers the far side for Dawson. Going to send a man in motion. It's going to be a handoff to him, trying to get to the edge. He's going to cut back up, and he should not have done that. He should not have done that because Roman Miller's right there to pick him up and throw him down to the turf after a gain of about 6.5 inches.
Yeah, you look at the replay there, an option play, and he thought he had room, and Roman Miller stuck his head in there and said, no, you don't.
I didn't even catch the number on that one. I'm not sure if it was 12 trying to get to the edge or number 11. We'll give it to number 11 on that carry.
I think if you're Seneca here, if you stop him on 3rd down, you call a timeout.
Quick out route this time is going to be caught, wrapped up quickly by Brant Laughlin. They're going to give him a generous spot, so I'm not sure he made to the 45, but they're going to say he got the line to gain. 5-yard pickup as a pass is caught by number 11.
They may measure it. It's very close to that 1st down.
That is Nordic.
And they are going to measure it here.
He may be looking at it and say, yeah, go ahead, 1st down.
He did stop the clock, and they are bringing the chains out.
So 5-yard completion there.
Looked like he got hit about the 44. And he's a little bit, it's going to be very tight. It's hard to see. It would be 4th down if it's not. And they are saying it's 4th down, Seth, 4th and inches.
4th down and 1. Well, he was just shy of the 41-yard line on that last carry, and so they had to get every bit of the 45 to make it a 1st down, and he's about 2 or 3 inches short. 4th down and inches coming up for Mount Vernon. What do they like to go to? Give it to their big quarterback, Dawson. Let him just take it on a quarterback sneak. Now it's Jace Renfro and Landon Hartgee have to have a good squeeze up front.
I was going to say, he's under center. You just take the quarterback and
Seneca doing some shifting on defense. Yeah. He's going to have enough as he takes that 6'5" frame and leans across the line, gets to about the 48-yard line, the high school version of the tush push. Coming into play here with Dawson. Not sure he's quite as strong as what Jalen Hurts is.
Yeah, I don't blame Mount Vernon for that one because all you need is an inch. Just take your quarterback.
So Dawson gets 3 on that carry. Now he's going to quick to pass. Throws the out route incomplete, looking for, looks like Nordic on the far sideline, and that is incomplete. Second down. 21 seconds to go here in the first half of play.
To keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ballgame schedule, be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KNEO Radio. Follow us on X, KNEO917 Sports. Seneca softball busy week next week. At home next Monday and Tuesday against Neosho and McDonald County. On the road Thursday against Cassville. We'll have all those games. They're also home next Friday against Logan-Rogersville. That's a 2 o'clock start.
Twins for Dawson. Dawson's going to have pressure in his face, runs into his own man. Jace Renfro going to get a hold, and now Roman Miller's going to come in and finish him off all the way back across to the 40-yard line. Good job by Miller. Good job by Aiden Crane to get there, too.
And I think
Landon Hartgee back there as well.
And I think Mount Vernon is going to just be content for this game to go to halftime.
And that's going to do it for the first half. Seneca leading 28-3 here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
I'm Bryce Johnson with this Unpacking It Sports and Faith Minute. As sports fans, it is easy to envy successful teams. After all, everybody wants their favorite team to win, but we can get so jealous when we see other teams win. Unfortunately, these same feelings of envy often exist outside of sports too. Jealousy can quickly set in when we find out about the successes that other people experience in their lives. It's easy to compare ourselves to others, what they have or what they're doing. We can even get caught up in envy over how others serve the Lord. We must ultimately realize, however, the need to focus on our own personal obedience and heart toward Jesus. Envy can be very dangerous when taking root, but the Bible says a tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot. Today, let's shift our jealous eyes away from everyone else and focus on the many blessings God graciously pours down on us. I'm Bryce Johnson, and you can unpack that. For more, go to unpackingit.com.
Welcome to the KNEO Sports Network Halftime Show. Once again, here's Ben Walcott.
Welcome back to Mount Vernon as we're at the half, and the halftime show is brought to you by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Coming up at the half, I'll talk with Seneca Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Brandon Eggleston, as part of our Indians Minute, and we'll have an interview with a Freeman trainer as part of our Freeman Sports Health Minute. You're listening and watching to Seneca Indian Football here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is, better health, better you.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
The Indians Minute is sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Josh Dodson. His office is located at 809 South Neosho Boulevard in Neosho, Missouri.
Welcome to today's edition of the Indians Minute here on KNEO. I'm Ben Wolcott. Today we're joined by the Superintendent of Schools at Seneca. It is Dr. Brandon Eggleston. And first of all, Dr. Eggleston, it's hard to believe that another year is already here for you. I'm sure you enjoyed your summer, but I'm also sure it probably went a lot quicker than you thought it might.
Yeah, every year keeps getting fast. This is my 8th year in Seneca, and every year seems to go a little bit quicker and quicker. But we're excited about the start of the school year. We got a lot of good things going on, and we're looking forward to getting things underway.
And you mentioned a lot of things going on. I know last year it seemed like things were starting to get a little bit quieter for you, but since you've been there, there's been a lot of projects that have gone on. Is there anything like that in the works or going on at the moment?
Yeah, for sure. We're nearing the end of our long-range plan that we started back in 2018, and we passed the bond issue in April of last year. So we're planning on our addition at the high school and then the safe rooms at the junior high. We're working towards getting the kind of just right now we're in the pre-construction and the planning phase, and that's about to wrap up. And next thing you know, we'll be breaking ground hopefully here in a couple months. So looking forward to that. It's gonna bring our FFA on campus and put all of our career-oriented classes in one hallway where they can kind of share resources and work together, and it's going to be a good addition to the high school for a long time to come.
And I ask all the coaches and the athletic directors this as well, so I figure I'll ask you this question as well. Kind of, what are your goals and expectations for athletics here in the fall, and then obviously as you get into the winter and the springtime?
I think my expectations and my goals is that we're here. We're here in anything we do to serve our students, and we want our students to have the best high school experience that we can provide them, and that's my main goal. I want our kids to be involved, other than just going to school. I think it's important for kids to be in extracurricular and co-curricular activities. It makes the school year more exciting for them, gives them a good peer group that they can relate to, and it puts other adults in their lives other than just going to class. So extracurricular activities are a big part of an education, and I always think that what we want them to get out of it is not just wins and losses on a field. It's not just starting and playing time. When we want our kids, we want them to learn how to work with a team, how to be accountable to a team, how to be a leader, how to work with other people that maybe don't have to share the same passion and desire that you do. But there's so many things that they get out of all of our athletics and all of our activities that are so much bigger than whether or not they're playing or whether or not they win or whether or not they lose. It's all of those soft skills that are you need whenever you become an adult.
Yeah, most definitely. And you mentioned, some of the other activities as well. Obviously, sports and football is the big one in Seneca, but there are obviously a lot of other activities that students can get involved with in Seneca as well, correct?
Yeah, and we look at it, just on a Friday night during football season we have, and this is not real accurate math, but I'm going to guess anywhere between 50 to 55% of our student body actually participating in the event. Whether that's playing football, whether that's on the dance team, on the cheerleading team, in the band, in the student section, they're participating and contributing to the event. And it's a pretty neat thing, which that's what makes Friday nights in Seneca special.
Yeah, most definitely. And for obviously talking about football has gotten a lot of credit these last couple of years, and you're going to get a lot of credit, for getting to a state championship the last 2 years. But just talk about the community involvement as well over not just these last 2 years. It seems like the community always does a good job of coming out and supporting Seneca, whether it's football, softball, basketball, drama, FFA, band. Mm-hmm. It seems like they do a good job regardless of whatever sport or whatever activities going on.
It is. I mean, that's one thing, you don't have to worry about in Seneca is apathy, because people care and they're proud, and they, that's bleeds off into our students and our student body and our teachers and our coaches. I've always say, if we're going to do something, we want to do it to the best of our ability, and we're going to do things the right way and make it to where the community can be proud of us, win, lose, or draw. And the community is very supportive. They love the school. The school is a big attraction for our town.
Yeah, definitely exciting. And one final question for you, and it kind of goes off of that, but what does it mean to the school and to you that, on a Friday night in August and September, regardless home or away, you're going to have that kind of support for your football team?
Absolutely. I mean, you look in Cassville, look at Cassville last Friday night. I was there on the sideline. I was like sitting on the sideline there too, because I can kind of see, give me a little vantage point of how many people we've got there, and kind of, it's just packed. I mean, people follow our team, and that's a big boost for our kids and for our staff and for our coaches, and they see that you get some schools I've seen that really the only people that travel are next to kin, if that, and we don't have that, and so we've got a lot of support wherever we're playing, and it shows. It makes our kids feel good when they see that, and that's what I like about it the most.
Definitely an exciting time to be a Seneca Indian, and Dr. Eggleston, we thank you for taking a couple minutes today here on the Indians Minute.
Hey, thank you, Ben. Anytime. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the Indians Minute, sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Josh Dodson. His office is located at 809 South Neosho Boulevard in Neosho, Missouri. For more information, his number is 417-451-1504.
This portion of the game is brought to you by People's Bank of Seneca, proudly investing in our community and you since 1996. They provide checking and savings accounts as well as CDs and loans for individuals and businesses. They offer multiple locations in Joplin, Seneca, and Neosho, or visit them online at peoplesbankofseneca.com. People's Bank of Seneca is here for everyone in the 4 states. Proud supporters of the Seneca Indians, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
A nonprofit organization, a sponsor of high school sports.
It's time for the Freeman Sports Health Minute. The Freeman Sports Team is proud to serve as the official sports medicine provider for over 20 area high schools and colleges.
Welcome to another Health Minute here on KNEO. Adam Winkler here with you, joined by Caleb Garton. He is a trainer with Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Today's topic, what is a meniscus tear and what is the recovery time?
So your meniscus is the cushion that goes in between your femur and your tibia to absorb some of the shock. When you tear that, there's a little flap that'll flip up that gets caught in the joint. From there, it really depends on what they decide to do with the surgery. If they just clean it up, you're looking at 2 or 3 weeks. If they decide to sew it back together to get it to repair, you're looking at 4 to 6 months. So it's a pretty large variant on how long the recovery time might be.
For the Freeman Sports Health Minute, I'm Adam Winkler.
Thank you for listening to the KNEO Sports Network Halftime Show. The teams are headed back out on the field. Seth Wilson and Ben Walcott are ready to go in the broadcast booth, and Daryl Harbaugh is returning to the sideline. The third quarter is almost here. Back with more Indians football after this on the KNEO and Seneca Indians Sports Network.
Jesus Christ said some things that don't sit well with a lot of people. Things like heaven and hell are real places, and you can only get to heaven by accepting Jesus as your personal Savior. So what do you do with that? Do you believe Jesus was a liar? That he was delusional? Or do you believe, as Billy Graham did, that Jesus Christ was exactly who he said he was?
Jesus said, "I am the sum total of all truth. Scientific truth, psychological truth, philosophical truth, religious truth, everything you are searching for to bring peace and joy and happiness and purpose to your life, Jesus said, I am it."
You can discover more about the difference Jesus can make in your life by going to findpeacewithgod.net. That's findpeacewithgod.net. And it's from the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
Proudly supporting the Seneca Indians is Doug's Body Works. Owned and operated by Doug Scribner, they offer a 24-hour wrecker service and specialize in auto body and frame repair. Doug's Body Works is located at 1008 Oneida in Seneca and is proud to serve the local area. 417-776-8611. Go Indians!
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is better health, better you.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
There's no denying that watching a church service while you're sitting on the couch, in your sweats, with a cup of coffee is pretty nice. As comfortable as that can be, though, it's just not the same as attending church in person with other followers of Jesus Christ.
The Christian fellowship is not optional, it's essential. It's commanded.
Billy Graham.
We are not to forsake the assembling of ourselves together. The Bible teaches that the church is like a vine with its many branches, members of the body of Christ, all knit together. The church is to worship together. God has commanded it, and I want to tell you, you cannot live a victorious Christian life and have the peace and the joy in your heart without faithfulness in the church.
Want to know more about the importance of worshiping with others in person? Go to findpeacewithgod.net. Click on Grow in Your Christian Faith. That's findpeacewithgod.net from the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
A sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho, serving the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer personal banking services, including checking and savings accounts, home loans, and online banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, an equal housing lender. Member FDIC, where their slogan is
Southwest Missouri Bank. We can do that.
Forbes asked, and the people answered. Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance is one of America's best insurance companies. Forbes recognizes what our customers have known for generations. We are committed to protecting families and the lives they built. For auto, home, life, and business protection, call Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We've got Missouri covered.
The Oxford Dictionary defines mercy as compassion or forgiveness shown towards someone who should rightfully be punished. Billy Graham talked about the mercy that freed him from a punishment he deserved.
I deserve the wrath of God. I'm a sinner. I deserve judgment in hell. But I'm not going to spend one day in hell. Not because I have preached to people or because I've read the Bible or because I go to church.
But if it's not good works that spare us from punishment, what does?
Jesus was enduring the wrath of God that you and I deserve. It's because of Jesus on the cross.
Now, it's up to you to accept the mercy that Jesus Christ offers. He's alive today, and you can know him personally, and we can help. Call us at 855-255-PRAY. 855-255-PRAY. We're the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
And we welcome you back here at the half. Your halftime show sponsors Prairie Top Chiropractic. Run through some stats from your first half. Let's start first for the Mount Vernon Mountaineers. Looks like Hunter Dawson has completed 5 passes of 14 attempts for 28 yards. Dawson on the ground so far tonight, 8 rushing attempts for 12 yards. And then Conway has 9 rushing attempts for 35 yards. Corderay has 1 for 3. Felton has 1 for 14. And Nordic has 1 for 1 yard. So total for the first half for Mount Vernon, 65 yards rushing and 28 yards passing. For your Seneca Indians, Brody Probert's 1 of 2 for 19 yards. Jagger Wilson has 1 reception for 19 yards. On the ground, Roman Miller, 11 carries, 153 yards. Probert, 8 carries, 68 yards. Haynes, 1 carry for 12 yards. Wilson, 1 carry for 75 yards in the score. Wilson has the 1 touchdown, and Miller has the other 3 as Seneca leads 28-3 here at the half. 5 penalties apiece for each side. Seneca with 40 yards penalty yardage, and Mount Vernon has 32 yards on their 5 penalties. So time of possession really favored Mount Vernon. Even though it didn't seem like it, it really favored Mount Vernon. 14-20 compared to Seneca's 9-40. 24 plays for Seneca, 37 plays for Mount Vernon that first half. Again, these are all unofficial stats. These are Seth Wilson stats, which could be inaccurate by plus or minus 3,000. How about that? So far, takeaway from that first half for Ben, what do you think about that offensive performance by the Indians?
A much better first half for Seneca compared to last week, and you think about it, Seth, it's 28 unanswered for Seneca because Mount Vernon scored the first 3 of the game, and we took them only getting 3 on that first drive as a plus because they started at the plus 30-yard line, and Seneca only gave up a field goal there. So 28 unanswered here for Seneca. Obviously, the run game has been working, so you haven't needed the pass, and if there's no need to pass the football, that's why you've seen some explosive runs from Roman Miller, Jagger Wilson, and much better blocking here tonight compared to last week as well. Obviously, it's week 2. There's still going to be some things to clean up if you're the Seneca team. But, you know, Cody said it, and I've heard other coaches say it. The biggest improvement you see is from week 1 to week 2, and I think we've seen a very big improvement from week through one half. But I think we've seen a very big improvement from week 1 to week 2 for the Seneca Indian football team.
Well, some things to take away, too, from the first half performance. Jude King out there playing. I think he got released on Tuesday. He told me, I saw him Tuesday morning. He told me he was going to go to get his cast off that day, so that's exciting. He was at Devone Donuts and went and got the cast off, then found out he got injured again when I saw him Wednesday night at church. He's back out there, got casted up. His sister told me today when I went to the pharmacy, and she said, Jude's going to play tonight. She was very excited, so he's out there playing. He's been waiting his turn behind Hagen Ginger for the last couple of years, and now he's getting to play. Hopefully that injured hand doesn't slow him down, doesn't appear to be so far tonight without Kai Adams as well. He's been on the sideline the entire evening. Looks like he's got a brace on that left knee, so hopefully he can he's able to rest and get some time off, and hopefully he'll be ready to go in the near future. Got a tough one next week at home for the home opener against Nevada.
And speaking of scores, Seth, you mentioned that Nevada game, and they had a 42-0 lead over Aurora at halftime. And so you'll be able to find all the Final Drive scoreboard shows after the game, and then obviously you can go to kneo.org and find those other interesting scores. Of fact, Mack County has a 2014 lead over Cassville. Those are kind of the scores we're interested in the COC. Nix is getting all they can handle from Webb City at least through a half. It's 21-14 in the third quarter.
21-14 at the half?
In the third quarter.
Third quarter. That's a great score there between those two schools. That'd be a fun matchup to go to.
Yeah, it was 21-7 at halftime, so Webb City may have gotten the ball in the second half and went down and scored. So
Seneca definitely coming out with a little bit more firepower tonight. Hopefully they'll do the same thing in the second half because they'll start out on defense. When we come back to start the second half, as they have about a minute 30 left on the clock, we'll take that 60-second break. We'll come back. We'll have the second half action for you in just a few moments.
Most of us have certain bills that require us to pay them off in order to keep using the service. There's another debt you owe, but this one you cannot pay yourself. It's called sin, and the Bible teaches it separates us from God. Fortunately, the gospel says Jesus loves you and paid that debt for you. It doesn't matter what you've done. You're offered this gift and can receive forgiveness. If you'd like to talk with someone to find out how Jesus can pay the debt of sin in your life, call us at 888-NEED-HIM or go to chataboutjesus.com.
Looking for a personal checking account with real rewards? Open a Community Choice checking account at First Community Bank and earn up to $200. Get $100 when you set up direct deposit and another $100 after just 15 debit card purchases. No monthly service fee, free online and mobile banking, and interest paid on your balance. Open your account today with just $50 and start enjoying the perks. Call 888-780-8391 or visit firstcommunity.net for details. First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC. See bank for complete details.
And we welcome you back here at the your halftime show sponsors, Prairie Top Chiropractic. As we're waiting the clock, it has wound all the way down to 0. Back to the 12-minute mark to be able to start this third quarter. Mount Vernon is yet to come on the field, getting some final instructions from their special teams coach.
Special teams coordinator.
As they comes out on the field, back deep to receive number 6, which is Ty Orr, quarterback, sophomore quarterback for Mount Vernon. And then also back deep to receive number 12, Jeff Zerby. It is Jet Zerby, excuse me. And then also back there deep to receive number 34, Hunter Conway.
Seth, never doubt yourself.
I shouldn't have. Drew Sherwood got a few steps here to kick this one away. And it's going to be a short end-over-end kick that's going to be fielded up at the 22-yard line. Looks like it may be Conway. And Conway's going to get wrapped up and taken down immediately by Roman Miller. And looks like Ryder Owens down there on the attack for the Indians. Great hit by those two to get this second half started, as Mount Vernon will have it first down and 10 from their own 24-yard line.
You think we did a little practicing from last week on the kickoff?
I think they've looked at that, Coach. I think they have, yes.
It's like, boys, I can tell. I've been in those meetings before. It's probably like, hollering at those kids like, here's what you're going to do, and I don't want to hear any excuses.
First down and 10 for Mount Vernon. As they're going to send a receiver to the near side, that's Kruger, as well as number 5, Collier. 2 receivers to the far side, going to send one of them in motion. It's going to be a handoff to him, number 11, Blaze Graham, going to force him back inside. He's going to be wrapped up and taken down. That's Nordyke. Nordyke's going to get up to the 29-yard line, a pick up a 5 on the play, just kind of going with those jet plays back and forth because they're having trouble running between the tackles.
I noticed they like to run it to the right side, and more than anything, I haven't been able to notice it, haven't been able to see it, Seth. You guys are on that side. Mm-hmm. But if they run a jet, that outside receiver, we got to watch him, make sure he doesn't slip out, go long.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's holding that and then finally giving it at the last second. Now they're going to go under center, single back formation, trips bunch on the near side, 2 receivers on the near side with a wing back as well. It's going to be a handoff to Conway. Conway's going to make a cutback. Jagger Wilson's going to wrap him up and take him down. Good open field tackle by Jagger Wilson at the 40-yard line. Not sure what happened that, but the cutback lane was wide open for Mount Vernon on that carry.
Yeah, our linebackers just overran the play a little bit. Instead of keeping it on the inside, a linebacker's play is always inside out. And we just overran it a little bit and opened up that cutback lane.
A little bit of over pursuit.
Like you said, good tackle there by Jagger Wilson, because if he doesn't get him or slow him down, that potentially could have been 6 for Mount Vernon, and all of a sudden you're looking at a brand new ball game.
Again, that 2 receivers with a wing back formation for Dawson. Dawson going to look downfield. He's going to throw the screen pass to the far side, and Blaze Graham going to wrap him up and take him down. He was looking for Drew Sherwood to make the tackle. I believe that's on number 7. No, it's going to be they're going to say Shane caught that one on the far sideline, as I have a moth fly inside my glasses here inside the booth. Shane catches that one. He's going to have it up to the 48-yard line, a pickup of 8 on the play. Second down and 2. Now you got to watch for the deep ball. Dawson under center. 2 receivers on each side. It's going to be Dawson running up the middle, and he's going to get stood up across midfield at about the 49-yard line. Pick up about 3 on the play.
He's
First down 10.
He's a big enough quarterback, big enough body that he just went, all right, center, I'm going to follow you up the middle and see if I can take on, Probert one-on-one there.
10 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Right now, Mount Vernon just taking a long drive to try to open this third quarter play. Seneca got to come up with a stopper turnover. Haven't had a turnover yet tonight. They're -1 right now. Twins for Dawson. Conway to the right of him. Still waiting for the snap. Going to send a man in motion. That's going to be Dawson taking it to the backside. He's going to be wrapped up immediately and taken down to the ground. First man there for the Indians, Roman Miller, and he's going to drop Dawson for a loss on the other side of midfield. Great play by the senior linebacker.
Oh, Roman did not get fooled at all on that quarterback counter. You fake the jet one way, try to bring everybody back to the left. And Aiden Crane is the one that made the play. Aiden Crane is the one that's jammed up on the inside where Roman can slide over and make the tackle.
Great. He's having a great night from that defensive end position. Twins again for Mount Vernon. Going to send a man in motion. That's going to be Nordic. Nordic's going to get the handoff. They're trying to get to the outside. They're going to force him back in. He's going to make a cut, and then he's going to be upended. Great tackle there. Great form tackle. Looks like Jagger Wilson coming up to make the stop. Again, a generous spot. I'm not sure he made it to the 46-yard line. They've got him almost to the they got him back at the 47 now. That's a little bit better. Just a gain of 3 on the play. Third down and about 8. As Nordic's got a couple jet carries here in this second half. Dawson talking to Coach Cox. He's going to go regain his teammates in the huddle. 8:25 to go here in the third quarter. Again, 2 receivers each side for Dawson. Third down and 8. Dawson going to go with the quick punch out to Conway. Conway's got an alleyway to run to, and Hunter Haynes is going to take out his knee at about the 15-yard line. Just a dump pass there. Receivers downfield were just straight blocking. They weren't even trying to go for a route.
What happened, Seth, is we blitzed. So we took the linebackers and blitzed him. And like I say, that quick pass on the outside, we didn't have no linebackers out there to help cover.
That's their biggest passing play of the night of 29 yards on the little dump pass to Conway.
I mean, it's one of those plays that just happens to work out. We're in the blitz, and they've got a little quick out route to get outside.
Seneca at their 4-2 look tonight. 5 defensive backs. Trips to the far side for Dawson. Dawson going to hand it off. Now he's going to look to pass. He's going for the jump ball, and that's going to be incomplete. Almost caught there by Felton. Trying to get the jump ball to him. May that have been number 7. That may have been Shane on the far side.
One-on-one coverage against Drew Sherwood, and he put that ball where only his receiver could get it, and that was a nice attempt there by Shane. Just couldn't come up with it if you're a Mount Vernon fan.
Second down coming up. Ball at the 18-yard line. 7:43 to go here in the third quarter. Trips to the far side. Dawson. 3-step drop, quarterback draw. He's got room to run up the middle. Going to be taken down by Roman Miller and Blaze Graham at about the 12 or 13-yard line. Got it marked as a 13, so it's going to be third down and 5. Kind of taking the play out of Seneca's playbook with that quarterback draw.
Yeah, I mean, the Seneca defensive line got caught too far up front and a wide open lane for him.
Game brought to you tonight by Newmac Electric, Predators Pharmacy, Prolude Maintenance Center, and Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Seneca needs to clamp down now on Dawson. Watch him to try to take off and run this one because they're needing about 5 yards. Dawson drop back to pass. Going to throw the quick out route. That's going to be in and out of the hands of the intended target. Brant Laughlin on the coverage for the Indians. Going to make it a 4th down and 5 situation. And a lot of those balls Dawson has thrown tonight on those out routes have been there. His receivers are not catching it.
Now they've dropped a lot of passes tonight, Seth. I mean, some of them right through their hands. That right there was a catchable football. And a lot of them has been just a little bit high.
I mean, but still, it's in your area. He's putting it only where the receiver can get it. I'm not sure if that one would have got enough for the first down. You have a better look at that than I do, Coach. Where your perspective.
No, it wouldn't have been a first down.
4th down and 5. Mount Vernon going to go for it. Again, they're going to dump it off. Probert coming up to make the play. He's going to stretch out, try to get a first down. They see where they mark him. They got him at the 10. That's going to be a turnover on downs.
He is. He did get it side of the field. It surprised me I didn't see the bunch look right there. They had success with it early in the second quarter. Here you go. 3rd down, 5 yards. I figured we might see the bunch twice in a row.
Community Bank and Trust, proudly serving your customers for the past 140 years. You may visit their branch at 1102 South Cherokee for all your banking needs. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, proud sponsor the Seneca Indians. Well, we have a 75, a 79-yard touchdown run. Why not a 90?
Let's go 90. We're getting greedy up here, Ben. That sounds very poor of us to be like that. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Going to send a man in motion. That's Wilson. Wilson going to take the jet sweep. Going to the right side. Going to cut back. He's at the 15-yard line. Still on his feet. He's going to get taken down from behind at about the 18-yard line. See where the mark is forward progress. One guy's got him at the 18. One got him at the 19. We'll give him 9 yards. I like to give him the benefit of the doubt. 9-yard pickup for Wilson on that carry.
I thought Probert still had that for a second.
Remember that jet sweep they had last year with Tyrone Harris up at Carl Junction, and we thought Caden Klaus had the ball, and Tyrone was down the sideline before we even knew it. Handoff's going to go to Miller. He's going to make a cut back at the line of scrimmage. He's going to get across the 20-yard line to the 23. A gain of 4 on the play. Make it first down and 10.
Seneca wouldn't mind a nice, long, methodical drive here that ends in 6.
Yeah, Mount Vernon went for a 5-minute drive to start the quarter and came up empty on a 4th down situation. 6:13 to go here in the third quarter. Mount Vernon showing a 4-man front against Seneca's offense. Receivers to each side for Probert. H-back checks back in is Silas Ball. Handoff's going to go to Miller to the right side. Lowers his shoulder at the line of scrimmage. Just gets behind Jude King as well as Brock Pendergraft's block and just eats up yardage.
I mean, you look at Seneca here, Seth, a 4 or 5 yards a carry. Everybody knows what's coming, and they still can't stop it.
They're just running their base stuff at him right now. Go ahead, Coach. Did we lose you?
We may have lost. There you are.
Yeah, well, they're in the forefront, but they're cramming on the inside. That's the reason we're bouncing it out.
Receivers to each side once again for Probert. And Sumi Probert running to the right side. He's at the 30, 35, 40. Gives a stiff arm there at the 50. It's going to be a foot race down the sideline, and Probert's going to be gone with the win as he takes this one in from 71 yards out as a couple stiff arms giving the Heisman look down the sideline, and the Indians add to their lead.
Well, Seth, it wasn't 90 yards, but we may as well add another 70-yard one, and Probert was able to elude a couple defenders, but excellent blocking up front there by Seneca. And this is 34, hopefully with an extra point made, it would be 35 unanswered by the Indians.
And you talk about the kind of methodical 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, and then all of a sudden, let's go with the quarterback this side, a little bit off misdirection, he's gone. Good running also, too, by Probert. Good snap, good hold, kick is up. And it's good. Sherwood puts that one through the uprights with 5:16 to go here in the third quarter. Seneca now leading 35-3. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Huddle Springs Church of Christ is bringing you today's ball game. They're a family-friendly church located just a few miles outside Seneca at 19306 Huddle Springs Road. With Sunday morning and evening worship services as well as midweek services on Wednesdays, check out HuddleSpringsChurchofChrist.org for more information about all the classes and fellowships they offer throughout the week. Huddle Springs Church of Christ, where they say, we want to go to heaven with you.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
All right, we'll welcome you back here to Mountaineer Stadium. We've got a quick message real quick.
Hi, Mom.
Seneca leads this one 35-3. Got a shout out back home. I got my middle one with me tonight. He wanted to hang out in the press box and watch this Indian football team up here in Mount Vernon. And Seneca's offense came to play tonight. Squib kick to the right side. It's going to be fielded by Conway at about the 25. He's trying to get to the edge, and Cade Finley comes up and sets that edge for the Indians. Good job there by the kickoff team. Finley doing a good job coming up, taking on a blocker, and then dropping Conway down to the ground.
You notice he did a good job there of not getting sucked too far to the inside. If it gets by Finley, that easily could have been a long return for Mount Vernon. So a good job by Finley to kind of set himself where he did, and like you said, took on a block as well.
First down and 10 for Mount Vernon. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Dawson going to pass. Dropping back, looking for the screen pass. Conway's got it. Probert wasn't fooled, but he's unable to make the play. Hartgee's giving chase. Not going to make the play there. And then Jagger Wilson finally drops him down with Hunter Haynes across midfield to the 48. That's twice now that we've seen. There's a penalty flag, I believe, on the far sideline all the way back at the 26. I did not see that flag.
No, I didn't see it.
I don't think everybody quite got set either.
I'm not sure we had everybody on the line of scrimmage.
Illegal shift.
Yep, that's going to march him back. So you got a big gainer there of about 30 yards, 29, 30 yards, and it's going to pull you all the way back.
I don't think the outside guy out here was on the line of scrimmage.
I think he had a chance to get set because they snapped the ball so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, they were set. I mean, they're just not on the line of scrimmage. You got 6 guys on the line of scrimmage if the outside guy is not on.
Yeah. So that's going to march him back. Again, that's twice now Seneca's defenders have gotten way upfield on that release.
Yeah, you could tell from the very beginning that was a screen play. And like you said, Probert wasn't fooled. He just missed a tackle, and then nobody else was there behind him. But Seneca catches a break.
2 receivers on each side for Dawson. Looked like the wide receiver in the slot position got a little bit of a head start. The pass is incomplete either way, but he was moving before the ball was even snapped, and they have yet to call that one tonight. Last week we had that called quite a bit whenever Cassville would come to the line of scrimmage, that sugar huddle. Not everybody was set before they did before they snapped the ball. This time that receiver's taking off before the ball snapped. Seneca Indian Football brought to you tonight by People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Healthcare Ministries, and the Seneca School District. 4:35 to go here in the third quarter. Trips to the far side this time for Dawson. It's going to be a handoff to Conway. Conway is trying to get there. There's got to be a holding play as Brock Pendergraft got spun around and he was holding on to his jersey. Pendergraft couldn't make the play, but a good stop there by Miller and Probert.
Yeah, I was going to say Probert read it, and he actually lost 2 yards anyways because Pendergraft blew it up.
That's going to make it third down and long.
Make sure you stay tuned after tonight's game for the Final Drive Scoreboard Show, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Also, check out our live scoreboard during the game. Go to kneo.org/sports. Click on the scoreboard link to get the latest scores from games around the area as they are happening.
Under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. 2 receivers to each side for Dawson once again. Looking over the defense, looking to his players. Going to throw the backside tunnel screen this time. He's got blockers out there for him, but it's going to be quickly wrapped up and taken down. Hunter Haynes slowed him up enough. Then Roman Miller on the pursuit from the backside, able to tackle him down at the 32-yard line. Pickup of 10 on the play. Either way, it's going to be 4th down and 7.
Yeah, you could see that one being set up for a while, and usually on those tunnel screens as a wide receiver, you're trying to make a guy or two miss. That's how those become big gainers, and for Mount Vernon, they weren't able to make a guy miss as they send somebody off late.
Back deep to receive is Hunter Haynes standing on his own 29-yard line. Plenty of time for Dawson. Brock Pendergraft gave him a little bit of chase and decided to let that one go. Haynes thought about picking that up, but he had no blockers in front of him, so he wisely runs away from it and rolls down to about the 24-yard line.
Evan at the Neosho Daily News. Wish the Seneca Indians good luck. Let's go get that win. And to keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ball game schedule, be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KNEO Radio. Follow us on X at KNEO917 Sports.
Ball placed at the 24-yard line for Seneca.
And obviously, Seth, there are things to clean up here if you're Seneca, but really that first drive of the game where they turned the ball over has been the worst drive that they've had all night long.
Yeah, they've really bounced back after that one, I guess.
I guess you could say the only way to go from there is up, and they've gone up from there.
2 receivers split to the far side, 2 running backs in. Handoff's going to be, it's going to be a dump pass out to Roman Miller. He's got blockers and set up in front of him. He's at the 30, the 35, gives a stiff arm at the 40, still on his feet, makes a cut back at the 45, gives another shoulder shrug, knocking defenders out of the way left and right to the 46.
Yeah, you just see it's a fake handoff, little dump off there, and the only way you get big gains like that is some blocking on the outside. I think that's Blaze Graham out there on the outside as it's starting to mist again.
First down and 10 for Seneca. Ball will be snapped with about 2:30 to go here in the third quarter. Trips to the near side. Probert looking over to Hilburn. Hilburn giving directions. He says run it. They will. Screen pass this time to Wilson. Wilson's got blockers in front of him. Penalty flag's going to come back as Sherwood's going to get guilty of the holding penalty.
Holding, block in the back, whatever you want to call it. I think you and I saw that one pretty easily because it happened right in front of us.
But we see one down here a while ago whenever Pendergraft's trying to get free and a guy holds onto his shoulder pad and Pendergraft's trying to spin out, he can't even spin out because he got a hold of him so badly. And then you let that one go, and then down here in this one, it's also broad daylight. You throw that one. So, I mean, so it'll be first down and 20 now, all the way back to the 40-yard line. So a loss of 6 on the play. First down and 16.
I was going to say, yeah, it's from the spot of the foul, so it's not quite 20. They say 17. But.
2 running backs in once again. They're cheating up their safeties this time. Haynes is going to take the handoff, try to get to the edge. Blockers in front of him. He's at the 45-yard line, still fighting for extra yardage, and finally he's going to go down at about the 48. I think there's a late flag that comes in as some extracurriculars as the ball is placed at the 48. Things are getting a little bit chippy now.
And we'll see who they call it on.
Dead ball type of penalty, I believe. Seneca's kind of backing up a little bit too. I think they know it was going to be a penalty on them.
Which it would be from the Mount Vernon 48 if it's a dead ball foul.
I guess I missed it. I was turning my head.
I didn't see it either.
I didn't see it around the tackle or anything like that. It must have been back off the play.
They're saying a personal foul against Seneca, so that'll negate the run by Haynes.
And it's not a dead ball foul, I don't think. So it's going to be first and a country mile.
No, from the previous.
Yeah, from the spot, which it was first and 17. So.
And they're taking it back even further to the 30. The ball was at the 46.
No, the ball was at the 40. Because it was first and 17 from the holding play. And so now it's first and 27.
So either way, it's a long way to go. Ball's at the 30. Let's call that first and 20, whatever. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Probert going to drop back to pass. Now he's just going to take off and run, trying to get blockers in front of him. He's at the 35. That's one he probably should have cut back. He's going to keep his feet going, though, across the 43. He cut back into a lot of traffic. If he would have went to the left side, he had more blockers there if you can pull it up on replay. I don't know if you can or not. Maybe too late. Yeah, missed it a little bit there. See that one? There's all kinds of green on this near side. He cut it back up in on that one.
Well, to go from second and 27 or first and 27 to second and 13, that's still a pretty good.
It's manageable at this rate.
That's still a pretty good chunk play if you're Seneca. So.
Second down and 13. 1:28 to go in the third quarter. Fans pop their umbrellas back out as the mist begins to fall. 2 running backs in the backfield with Probert. Handoff's going to go to Haynes. Reverse to Blaze Graham. Probert's going to be outside on the edge blocking for him. He's at the 40, the 35, 30, 25, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Seneca Indians. Touchdown, Hunter Haynes, as he takes it in from 56 yards out.
Well, you look at it. You have a couple blocks out there on the reverse. Probert obviously had a big one, but you also had Jude King that made a huge block right in front of Darrell that helped spring him for 6.
You did say Blaze Graham, right?
I said Jude King, but...
No.
Okay.
Running the ball.
Yes. Oh, it was Graham. Sorry. I said Hunter Haynes. That's my fault. Hunter Haynes had the handoff. That was my fault. That was Graham all the way. I'm sorry. Yeah. Man, I messed that one up. Sorry about that. Sherwood puts that one up and through with 1:06 to go here in the third quarter. Seneca now leads 42-3. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
And we welcome you back here to Mountaineer Stadium. I apologize for that. I had Hunter Haynes on the handoff, and then Graham ran that in around the other side. I was saying Hunter Haynes the entire time because I saw him get the ball first. I apologize. Seneca Indian football brought to you tonight by Numac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, Prolube Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Mid-America Specialty Markets, Missouri Farm Bureau Agent Josh Dotson, Gas and Snack, Huddle Springs Church of Christ, Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home, The Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, Marine Center Incorporated, and Community Bank and Trust. Drew Sherwood's going to give a pop-over kick that's going to be fielded at about the 38-yard line and then brought down immediately. It looks like number
11, Seth.
That's number 11. That's Nordic on the carry, on the return to about the 47, 48-yard line. Mount Vernon will have it at that spot with the running clock now.
I don't know number 11's number from Seneca.
Oh, from Seneca. Yeah, that is going to be Easton Haynes.
Yeah, Easton Haynes is the one that made the tackle.
And he was out with a knee brace on, I believe, last week. So good to see him back out there. First down and 10 for Mount Vernon. 30 seconds, under 30 seconds in the third quarter after this ball will be snapped. Two receivers on the far side, one on the near side. Going to send a man in motion. They're going to give it to that man. That's number 15 coming up to make the play. Sure, he spins out a couple different defenders' tackles and finally brought down with the help of Jude King and Hunter Haynes. That's number 15, Hernandez. And that's a gain of about, we'll call it 5 to the 48-yard line. Second down and 5.
And Seth, that'll end the third quarter.
And that'll end it for the third. We'll go to the fourth with Seneca leading 42-3.
In a sense, we all live in earthquake zones. Sometimes things in our world are shaken by forces we can't control. It might be one of those times in your life right now. Life's quakes remind us how breakable and vulnerable we are. You were made for a relationship with Jesus Christ. Only through Him can you be safe for all eternity. He proved it by His blood when He died on the cross to pay for every sin you've ever committed. To learn more, call 888-NEED-HIM.
And we welcome you back as we start this fourth quarter of play. Seneca leading 42-3.
42 unanswered here for Seneca.
Not too bad. A little bit better performance tonight. We still got a long on the whole quarter to go, but the clock will be running continuously now. You see Jude King checking in at the linebacker position.
I was going to say
maybe defensive end a little bit to give Pendergraft a spell. Hopefully Pendergraft is okay. I don't see him on the sideline getting worked on. Do you?
He's over here on the left side. He's fine.
Yeah, I think I see him on the left side.
I think you're going to see some guys start to rotate in a little bit. If you can get a stop here, you may see the second team offense next Seneca possession. But I think they want to make sure they can get a stop first.
Two receivers on each side this time for Dawson. Second down and 5. Going to send a man in motion. And it's going to be a give to the jet man. That's going to be number 6. That's going to be Roman Miller taking him down as Orr is brought down to the turf quickly. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. Good job there by Miller to tackle him, take him down after only allowing him to get it 1 yard. That's a long pursuit to get to.
I was going to say, he had to go a long ways to get a yard on the play. Good job there by Roman Miller.
Third down and 4 coming up for Mount Vernon. Continual clock now. I'll try to keep you posted on where we're at time frame. Two receivers for Dawson on each side. Hunter Haynes playing free safety, going to send a man in motion. Handoff's going to go to Hernandez to the far side. He's going to get dropped for a loss coming up to make the play. Don't see he's coming up off the bottom of the pile, but a great play there by the Seneca defense. Maybe Drew Sherwood and Brant Laughlin as well. Good job by those two defensive backs.
And, Darryl has said this all season long. I don't know why people are trying to run wide on this Seneca team.
The reason being, I think, a lot of people are going back to that state championship game against Blair Oaks, and that's where Blair Oaks had a lot of success. The same type of play that Blair Oaks did last year, that's what Mount Vernon's running right now, that jet read option, where he can pull it back and throw it if he wants to. He can give it to the jet man, or the quarterback takes off and runs. Go ahead, Coach.
Call play.
Trips to the near side, one receiver to the far side. Dawson going to hand it off to Conway. Conway's got green, but he's going to stretch out. Hunter Haynes comes up to make the stop, but not before Conway can get enough for the first down at the 41. Go ahead, Coach, now.
Well, I was just saying, the play may be the same, but the athletes on the field are not.
That's what I was thinking. Blair Oaks had all-state guys.
And Mount Vernon is not as quick as we are, and they're having trouble staying with them, and that's the reason. I mean, they can try to run wide. They're going to make a few plays running wide, but in the long run, no, they're not going to be able to make it there. They had more success with a big bunch group running straight ahead.
Bunch group to the near side trips. Going to send a man in motion. That's Shane. Shane's going to return where he came from, trying to throw the quick screen out to him. Hunter Dawson's got pressure in his face. He's going to scramble out to the right side of Brant. Laughlin's going to come up and take him down. Good job there by Brant to take him down to 45.
Aiden Crane busted that play up. And it seems like we've been calling his name a lot here tonight.
I know that left tackle from Mount Vernon does not want to see Aiden Crane next week.
Yeah, he's had a good job tonight, peeling off the ball, getting back there, getting pressure on the quarterback. Next week, it's going to be more of a stay-at-home, keep your guy from getting away from you as they have that misdirection play. Delay handoff to Conway. He's going to be wrapped up immediately by Jace Renfro. Just a gain of 1 on the play to the 44.
Yeah, next week will be interesting because it's two teams that love to run the ball. Both will be 2-0. Nevada comes in. They beat Aurora, I think it was 49-0 tonight. You can check out all the scores on our website, kneo.org, and we'll have the final drive scoreboard show you after the postgame show.
Nevada has a lot of speed, I'll tell you that. 2 receivers to each side. Dawson dropping back. Got pressure in his face. That's going to be Aiden Crane. That's going to be incomplete. On the coverage is Drew Sherwood, making it 4th down and 8. Good job by Crane to get back there again and kind of slowed up to try to contain Dawson rather than coming and blowing by him, and Dawson running upfield to get a first down. Heads up play there.
You got to watch the quarterback draw here because Aiden Crane's being very successful, but he can kind of run by the quarterback sometimes, so you got to be wary of that.
2 receivers again to each side for Dawson. Dropping back to pass. He's going to throw it over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. Great hit there. I believe that was Jagger Wilson knocking the receiver to the ground as the ball was hitting his chest. The intended target was Asa Lutz, and Lutz got hit hard, and Jagger Wilson knocked it free for the incomplete pass and the turnover on downs
and
with
yes,
7:39 to go.
It was Jagger Wilson, as you saw it there on the replay, and ball and person met at the same time. So good job there by Jacker, and I think we got the second stringers in, Seth, because we got a new quarterback.
Clay Davidson checks in now for the Indians. Ball at the 44-yard line. Saw these guys play Monday night at home. Handoff's going to go to Boston Probert. Probert's going to go to the left side, and he's going to get a good chunky yardage to about the 50-yard line. So ball was placed at the 45, 2nd down and 5. Little brother of our quarterback, Brody Probert, Boston Probert. 5-yard pickup.
Hey, boys, it's always good to see the bomb squad back on the field. You know that.
Didn't get to see that last week, did we?
No, we didn't. We get to see it this week, though.
Davidson, shotgun formation, 2 receivers each side. Davidson's going to take it to the left side, lowers his shoulder. Davidson's a big body quarterback as well, as he's listed at 6 foot 195.
He's got a good frame on him.
He does.
And he stuck his nose there on that play. The offensive line is doing what they're supposed to do. They're getting their blocks.
They played well Monday night, had a 30-0 lead on Cassville, and Cassville scored in the last minute, 20 seconds to make it 30-6, but they did a good job on Monday night in the JV game. Handoff's going to go to Prober. He's going to bounce around a little bit, got a head of steam, got enough for the first down again. Good job by Seneca.
I think if you're Seneca here, you would love for the second stringers to get on the board because it'll just make you feel good about them getting in the game and continuing to have success here against Mount Vernon.
Yeah, I don't know. Number 28, was it Probert?
Yeah.
I tell you what, he'll stick his nose in there. He looks good.
I think this is Logan Thompson now. I believe it's checked in for the Indians. Handoff's going to go to him. He's going to go to the right side. He's kind of a wiry running back as well as he comes off the turf after a gain of a couple up to the 39.
You say a couple, and it's a gain of about 5.
Gain of 4 yards. Yeah, I thought we were just at the 40. We were at the 43, so good job by Thompson there to get a good chunky yardage as well. These guys are going so fast I can't even keep up with them on my stat sheet. Good job there by Thompson just to get behind his blockers and get a good chunky yardage. Handoff's going to go to Thompson again to the left side. He's going to get hit hard. He's going to get maybe a yard on the play, and it's going to make it 3rd down. Let's see, they mark him at the 43. 38.
I guarantee you under Cody, if you're a running back and you don't stick your nose in there and run hard, you're not going to have a chance to play. And these kids are doing it right now.
So just a gain of 1 on that last carry. 3rd down and 5 coming up for the Indians. Option play. No, it's just going to be Davison taking it to the left side and maybe gets a yard on the play up to the 42. Excuse me, I keep calling it the 40. It's the 37-yard line.
4th and 4.
4th down and 4 coming up. Davidson on the carry. Game brought to you tonight by Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Doug's Body Works, Prairie Top Chiropractic, and Cedar Lane Farm and Garden. 4:30 to go in this one. 2 receivers on the near side. And it's going to be Davidson running to this near side. He's got 1 blocker, takes on 1 defender. He's going to be just shy of the first down at about the 35-yard line. It'll be a turnover on downs after just a pickup of 2 yards for the ball carrier, Davidson.
It looks like you got some second stringers out there on defense now for Seneca as well. So they've switched everybody out. And, Seth, I think Mount Vernon's doing the same. I think they got a new quarterback in there.
Well, you got 3:55 to go in this one. Ball at your own 36. Seneca's subbed out. They've already shown that. So Mount Vernon does the same thing. Game brought to you tonight by 4 State Sports Report, Dairy Queen of Seneca, First Community Bank, Neosho Chamber of Commerce. Trips to the far side this time. I believe the quarterback coming in is number 8, Hodgson's. I cannot say that last name. I'm sorry about that. Hodgson. There we go. Handoff's going to go to number 35, Cordray. Cordray is going to get to the 39. Pick up a 4 in the play, 2nd down and 6. A good bounce back game for the Indians. I mean, everybody everywhere kind of felt like was acting like last week was a loss. Yes, the Indians did not play as great, but man, I mean,
a win's a win.
A win is when you play ugly and you still manage to get a win. I know coaches don't like that at all. Coach, did you like it when you played ugly and still got a win, or was it worse for you?
You always like the W.
Yeah.
But you always let the kids know that the next week practice, you're not going to like it. And I'll find the ones who want to play and want to do it the right way. That's what it told. I guarantee that's basically the message they got all this week.
Silas Ball on the stop from Cordray, that last carry. Good job by Ball staying at home. Probert checks in now on defense. High snap. Hodgson going to throw it. Probert's going to wrap him up and take him down. Not before he can get a first down. That's going to be number 15. That's Hernandez to the 49. Pickup of 8 on the play. First down and 10. What's our clock left there, Ben?
2:05.
2:05 to go in this one.
Like we said, next week will be a big one. Nevada comes to town. It's also Seneca's home opener. You know, they've been biting at the bit to finally get home and get to play in the Valley, and expect it to be a pretty raucous environment.
4-man front for Seneca. Looking for the screen pass to the backside. Good job by Dawson Manley to read that one, snuff it out. No gain on the play. This last week got to see him play on the JV on Monday night. He had a great game for the Indians defense. Another one out there too. Paxton Ray, number 88, plays defensive end on that JV squad, and he caused all kinds of problems for Cassville's offense. He was back there on almost every single play. Good job by Manley to stay at home and read that screen pass and drop him for no gain.
Here's the snap.
It's going to be a handoff to the near side, or excuse me, jet sweep around, and coming up to make the play is, looks like, can't get a number on him just yet. There we go. Number 3 for the Indians, Landon Sage. Sage had a good game, too. I believe he had a punt return for a touchdown on Monday night for the Indians on the JV contest.
No, I'd say that's not bad as they go quick here and see if Seneca can get that guy off. They do, as they're going with a jet sweep here on that other side.
Good tackle there. Open field tackle by number 11, Easton Haynes.
I think Mount Vernon's going in a no huddle here. I think they're trying to see if they can punch one in here before contest ends. There's still 25 seconds left and counting, and now they're going to huddle, so they may have, 2 plays left here.
Twins for Hodgson's this time. Handoff's going to go to her number 12 again. Coming up to make the play. Good job there by Sage to take his feet out at the 28-yard line.
And that's going to be the final play, Seth.
That was Jet Zerby at the 28, taking it down to the 28, and that's going to be the end of the game as Seneca wins this one 42-3. We'll be back. We'll have your post-game show for you right after this.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians! The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District. Tradition, pride, class.
A business impact partner of KNEO is ProLube Tire and Auto Center in Neosho. Serving the area since 2001, they're open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. ProLube Tire and Auto Center offers tire and brake repair, as well as transmission service, front-end alignments, and more. Located at 1406 North Business 49 in Neosho. For more information, 417-221-6795 or online at proluberepair.com.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is Better Health, Better You.
Proudly supporting the Seneca Indians is Doug's Body Works. Owned and operated by Doug Scribner, they offer a 24-hour wrecker service and specialize in auto body and frame repair. Doug's Body Works is located at 1008 Oneida in Seneca and is proud to serve the local area. 417-776-8611. Go Indians!
A proud backer of the Seneca Indians is Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca. Located at 1101 Cherokee, they are honored to serve the area with traditional service options including church and graveside services. They also have prearranged funeral plans. For more information, the phone number for Funeral Director Mike Steele at Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca is 417-776-2251 or online campbell-biddlecomefh.com.
And we welcome you back as Seneca has the victory here tonight. 42-3, 42 unanswered points here for Seneca. And we got Daryl Harbaugh down there on the field with 3 Seneca Indians. And Daryl, when you want it, you can have it and make sure they get their faces good for the video.
Well, I told them nobody wanted to look at their backside anyway. Well, I don't know. They're not too good looking up front here anyway. First, I want to talk to Aiden Crane. I'm telling you what. We kept calling your name. I don't know if I'm cutting in and out, boys. We kept calling your name on defense. You had a great game tonight.
Well, we've lost you there, Coach, for just 1 second.
I'm trying.
There we go.
Hang on. Are we there now?
Yeah.
Sorry. Back to Aiden Crane. You know, you had a great game tonight, Aiden.
Yep, it's mainly because my coaches, they stay up all night watching film. You know, it just helped me get better.
Well, did your dad want to grab you from last week? And, you know, I'm an ex-coach. I understand that.
Yeah, a bit mad about that, but hey, we fixed it. We turned around and fixed it.
I tell you what, and the offense and the defense, Defensive line played a great game tonight.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We're going to talk to a couple seniors, boys. You know, senior year is the last time you're going to be on this field. Ain't it nice to come off with a W?
It's the growth from week 1 to week 2. It's awesome to see it.
Well, you had a great game tonight. Looked like you had a good plan. Looked like we started bouncing. We looked like we started running the plays on the outside a lot more today, and that may be just because of the defense they were running.
Yeah, we had those safeties who were in the parking lot, so we just pounded salt until they'd come down, and that was the plan.
I bounced outside. Roman, it looked like you bounced a couple of them on the inside, and sometimes had to make your own blocks and just run over the tacklers.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we drill up in practice all week, and Coach, I'll just do whatever Coach says and just do my job and go and execute.
Well, I know last week it was kind of it was a W last week, but everybody knew it was like, okay, this is not this team. You guys kind of turned it around tonight and looked like you're playing a whole lot better.
Yeah, we knew we could either come and just play football, or we could play Seneca football, come out, win by 40, do it the Seneca way.
Well, it looks like you did. You had a great game tonight. Hey, go have a good week. Enjoy the W. Go have a good week of practice because you got a big one next week, and you all know it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach. We had Aiden Crane down there, big defensive end tonight, coming out in that first quarter, first half, having a lot of plays, disrupting the backfield for Mount Vernon, not letting Dawson have any type of time to set up his feet. Landon Hartg also doing a good job from the defensive tackle position. And then you had Roman Miller out there and Brody Probert getting interviewed. Probert with a lot of carries tonight. Or excuse me, not a lot of carries, but a good job of leading the way. And then Miller had about 3 touchdowns, I believe, tonight on the ground. So a good all-around team effort, bouncing back from last week's. I say bouncing back. We won last week.
Well, you know, the way Seneca has played these last couple of years, you know, Cody said it. A lot of people said it. It was a win, but it felt like a loss. So I think, obviously, there's still a lot for them to work on. Coaches are going to find a lot. Regardless, you could feel like you played a perfect game, which obviously they really weren't anywhere close to a perfect game. But you could play almost a perfect game, and I guarantee a coach could find something for you to work on the next week. So
it looks like Coach Hilburn's made his way in here. We'll take a quick break. We come back. We'll have the head coach of the Seneca Indians, Coach Cody Hilburn, right after this.
Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca is the place to go before or after the game. Check out their amazing menu of fan-favorite blizzards like Oreo or cookie dough. Happy hour is daily from 2 to 5 p.m. That means everything you can drink from a straw is half price, excluding premium shakes. Don't forget to grab one of their $7 meal deals or their signature stack burgers and top it off with a Misty Slush. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca, located at 308 Washington, open daily from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Proud to support the Seneca Indians.
Mid-America Specialty Markets of Seneca is a supporter of the Seneca Indians, and they're proud to bring you today's game. They provide insurance services for the 4-state area, including home, auto, life, and agribusiness. Located at 910 Washington Avenue in Seneca, they are licensed in Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Kansas. Learn more today at midminsurance.com or call 417-451-9177. Mid-America Specialty Markets. Protecting your business and family is our specialty.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
And we welcome back here to Mountaineer Stadium as I'm joined by the head coach of the Seneca Indians, Coach Cody Hilburn. First off, congratulations. A good victory tonight up here at a tough place to play, and you guys came out ready to play. Maybe not necessarily the first drive, but after that they kind of picked up steam and held them off the rest of the way.
You know, I told our kids at halftime, no, that's definitely not how we wanted to start the game with a turnover. But what I did love to see that was different than last week when adversity struck, our team rallied. and our defense went out there with tons of emotion and passion and got that stop and held them to a field goal. Where last week I didn't think we responded great. They went on that long drive, and something we talked about, and we got kind of a target on our back, and unfortunately you have to start back over and you don't fall on top of the mountain, and that's something we talked about, and I was proud of our kids for responding to adversity like that.
Yeah, you give him a first down and 10 situation from the 25 your own or Seneca's 25-yard line, hold him to just the field goal, really buckled down, really just held him out of the end zone there, because they could have just kind of, oh man, here we go, we got to be able to pick it back up right now, and they were able to do that.
Yeah, I was really proud of our defense and our defensive staff and Coach Crane. We didn't know, we were without our starting Mike linebacker tonight, and we didn't know that was going to be the case till probably after Tuesday's practice. So after Tuesday's practice, we had to come in and revamp what we were going to do defensively. So it was like we almost had to start over on Wednesday with guys in new positions. So it was a long week, and we had a film session at 2:45 today before we got on the bus, and to keep tightening things down. So I'm proud of our kids and our coaching staff for getting it right throughout the week.
You talk about the adjustments you guys made with the Coach Crane. You guys were in there talking strategy on Wednesday when I come in there to talk to you guys, and just the amount of communication you two have as far as a coaching staff to put the game plan in order, and to see it come to fruition tonight. Kind of more of a bounce back game after last week defensively. Aiden Crane back there, a couple plays back there in the backfield, taking down Dawson. Landon Hartjee getting pressure on the quarterback. All your defensive linemen doing their job. Jace Renfro, Brock Pendergraph, all doing their job, staying at home, not giving up big chunks of yardage on the defensive line.
Yeah, I'll talk about my coaching staff a little bit. Like we got a bunch of guys that when their position group or their side of the ball doesn't play well, they take it personal, and it's not like our kids didn't do their job. Well, we have to take ownership too, and all of us coaches went back, last Friday night, and it was a long night, and trying to figure out what we need to do better as a staff to fit the needs of this football team, because this football team is different, and we may have a lot of returners coming back off last year's team, but it's a different football team, and we got to do a better job of doing the things that fit their needs.
You talk about the blame game type of situation. I've seen teams do that where the things get down, they start blaming each other, and really these guys, your coaches, kind of look to themselves and say, what can I do to get better, and kind of picked it up from there and did get better from week 1 to week 2 tremendously.
Yeah, well, 100%, and our biggest key this week was play with passion. And if we only did one thing right, I wanted to play, what we call the Seneca way. And we're going to make mistakes, but we don't want to coach attitude and effort. And we didn't have to coach attitude and effort tonight. We made tons of mistakes, but that's football. That's week 2, and I can't wait to go back and clean that stuff up and not have to worry about the other stuff this week.
You talk about passion plays. We see other guys pulling each other off the bottom of the pile after making a big play. We saw that a couple of times with Hunter Haynes and Brant Laughlin on the outside. Jagger Wilson, Drew Sherwood trying to get guys fired up because they kept trying to run to the wide side of the field, and there were your quarterbacks coming up to make the play. Brant Laughlin a couple of times against a quarterback. He's given up probably 50 pounds to that quarterback and just drops him down to the ground as soon as he sees him in open field. Great open field tackles by him, Jagger Wilson, all those guys to kind of cut those guys down their tracks and limit them for a short gain.
Yeah, a lot of those guys you mentioned are first-time starters, and the progress they've made from week 1 to week 2 was tremendous, and you can see how fast they grow up. And I told them before the games, you're no longer rookies. You're a veteran now after one game. And they went out and played like it. They played like they've been a varsity player for more than 1 week, and I was super proud of them.
You guys put up 33 points last week against Cassville. Come out tonight, put up 42 points. Your offense on the ground just seems to continue to just kind of steamroll people. Tonight I think you guys had almost 400 yards of rushing on the ground. If I can pull it up here, 482 yards rushing on the ground tonight between your ball carriers, a couple big plays here and there, really spring you guys forward. And the second effort, yards after contact type of carries you guys had tonight. Talk about that a little bit and how great they did.
Yeah, it's another team that stayed too high against us by two high safeties, and we didn't. That's not what we planned for. We planned to get one high, and they stayed too high, which means we need to run the football, and we made those safeties come down and make tackles, and I thought their kids did a really good job in the first half. They came down and tackled low, and we were getting 5-6 yards, which is great, but we knew if we just kept on, it would wear on them, and you come down and have to tackle a 200-pound running back and a 200-pound quarterback. Eventually, it takes its toll, and we just wanted to keep hitting them and challenge both Roman and Brody at halftime. Let's go get those safeties when we get out there, and they both did, had big plays in the second half.
You talk about that being able to do that. Roman came out, had that one carry on that far sideline where he was throwing shoulders at people, knocked one defender back about 2 or 3 yards. How much of the success that goes on in the weight room carries over into Friday night's performance?
Yeah, we lifted hard today, and we're going to do that throughout the season. You know, we hopefully have 2 different cycles in the weight room. That first 9-week cycle where we're going to get after it, and we got after it today, and our kids understand the value in that. You have to prepare your body to play 15 weeks, and if you start cutting back in season and going light, your body starts to tear down, and we don't want to play 9 or 10 weeks. We want to play 15, and our kids understand the weight room's a big part of that.
All right, Coach, congratulations. Get home out of this rain. Enjoy it tonight, and maybe get a little bit more sleep this week than what you did last week.
We'll see. Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll take a break here. We come back. We'll have more post-game show for you right after this.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
And we welcome you back here to Mountaineer Stadium. Your post-game show sponsors tonight, Crowder College and the Seneca School District. Running through some stats for the game in that second half. Seneca 6 minutes, 59 seconds, time of possession, 17 plays. For Mount Vernon, that second half, 17 minutes, 1 second, time of possession, 29 plays. For the game, Mount Vernon 31-21, time of possession, 66 plays. And for your Seneca Indians, 16 minutes, 39 seconds, time of possession, 41 plays. Seneca didn't have any penalties in the second half. 5 penalties, 40 yards in the first half, and 5 penalties, 32 yards. 1 penalty, 5 yards for Mount Vernon in the second half. Looking at stats for your Seneca Indians, Roman Miller, 13 carries, 162 yards. Brody Probert, 10 carries, 153 yards. Blaze Graham, 1 carry for 56 yards. Clay Davidson, 3 carries for 5 yards. Hunter Haynes, 1 carry for 12 yards. Boston Probert, 2 carries for 10 yards. Jagger Wilson, 2 carries for 84 yards. And Logan Thompson, 2 carries for 5 yards. Miller had 1 reception for 22 yards. Wilson had 1 carry for 1 reception for 19 yards. And then Probert was 2 of 3 through the air for 41 yards. Totals tonight, Seneca 482 yards on the ground, 41 through the air for a grand total of 523 yards. If you look over at Mount Vernon's stats, Mount Vernon 119 yards on the ground, 86 through the air, as Hunter Dawson threw 23 passes tonight, completed a few of those for 78 yards roughly. And Hodgson also had 1 completion for 8 yards. That's going to do it for the stats here. And we'll come back. We'll have the Final Drive Scoreboard Show, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Welcome to the Final Drive Scoreboard Show on the KNEO Sports Network. The Final Drive Scoreboard Show is sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine provider for over 20 area high schools and colleges. See how one of their certified physicians, certified athletic trainers, or therapists can help you get back in the game. Now, let's go back live to the stadium for the Final Drive Scoreboard Show on the KNEO Sports Network.
And welcome into the Final Drive Scoreboard Show, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Running through the Big 8 Conference first, McDonald County defeating Cassville tonight. McDonald County at home, 32-20 over Cassville. Seneca, of course, defeating Mount Vernon tonight 42-3. You heard that one here. Lamar over East Newton 42-6. Nevada all over Aurora, shutting them out 49-0. And Monette exploding for 70 points tonight as they defeat Stratford 70-0.
In the COC conference, this one's kind of interesting. Lebanon has a 35-26 lead over Joplin in the fourth quarter. Neosho looks to improve to 2-0. They have a 35-13 lead over Kickapoo in the fourth. Carthage over Ozark in the fourth quarter, 49-21. Republic is blanking Waynesville 50-0. In a tight one, Nixa beats Webb City 28-20, and Glendale all over Willard 44-12.
Looking at that stat line, if that's correct, Webb City outscored Nixa in the second half 13-7. Kind of crazy. Moving on down to the Ozark Mountain Conference. If you don't have that KNEO app, you can have all those scores right there at your fingertips. Marshfield over Reed Spring 28-6. Logan Rogersville over Ava 34-18. Harrisonville over Bolivar 22-19. Carl Junction over Rogers Heritage 45-7. And Branson over Camdenton 42-13.
In the Mid-Lakes, Fairgrove is beating Tipton 21-7. Hollister beats Sarcoxy 37-20. And Springfield Catholic beats Houston 41-35.
We'll take a quick break. We'll run down the rest of the Final Drive Scoreboard Show, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
And we welcome you back into the Final Drive Scoreboard Show, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Southwest Conference, Stockton in a close one with Miller 28-27. That's in the fourth quarter. Moving on down to 8-man and independent. Osceola having no problem. New Heights 65-22. And Pittsburgh over Emporia 24-14.
In Oklahoma, only one score for you. It's in the third quarter. Gravette, Arkansas beating Jay 27-6. And in the SEK, Independence beating Columbus 40-26 in the fourth quarter. Last score we had at halftime was Circle beating Coffeyville 41-0. And Paola, I don't know how to pronounce that. Maybe you do.
Paola, yeah, you got it right.
34-6 over Fort Scott is the final.
In the CNC Conference, Baxter Springs over Riverton in the fourth quarter 29-12. St. Mary's Colgan shutting out Girard 28-0. That's a final. Frontenac over Galena 49-6. That's going to do it for the Final Drive Scoreboard Show, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Special thank you to Mark Taylor for stepping in tonight, coming in and helping us out, running the camera for us this evening in this rainy night that we had up here in Mount Vernon. So for Mark Taylor, Ben Walcott, Darryl Harbaugh, I'm Seth Wilson saying so long from Mountaineer Stadium. Again, your Indians victorious 42-3. Join us next week as Seneca will have their home opener against the Nevada Tigers here on the KNEO Sports Network.
You've been listening to the Final Drive Scoreboard Show on the KNEO Sports Network. The Final Drive Scoreboard Show is sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. See how one of their certified physicians, certified athletic trainers, or a therapist can help you get back in the game. Join us again after the game next week as we will once again bring you all the latest scores right here on the Final Drive Scoreboard Show, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. This has been a live production of KNEO Sports. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of KNEO Sports Network. This has been a sporting outreach of KNEO Sports Network, reaching into community.